Trying to get a lot of dough. Anything is possible. Turn me up in the headphone. Yeah. Trying to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Yeah. Oh man, I got a lot of goals. Stack that bread and by my nose. Anything is possible. Yeah. Trying to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Hey. Oh man, I got a lot of goals. Stack that bread and by my nose. Anything is possible. Hey. I grind to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Yeah. Oh man, I got a lot of goals. Stack that bread and by my nose. Anything is possible. Yeah, all I know is get paper. All I do is shit major. Bought a condo on the top floor and the building's a skyscraper. Feeling like I'm Kobe, LeBron for the Lakers. Feeling like I'm Idris, Paul Walker, Taker. New Rollie, no diamonds in it. New Porsche, all dimes in it. I'm infatuated with fine women. Corona extra with the lime in it. Just a shapes to Henny. Used to be a penny pincher. Now I'm in plenty business. Grind hard, nigga, oh God.
Grind hard, nigga, oh God.
Yeah. We grind to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Hey. Oh man, I got a lot of goals. Stack that bread and by my nose. Anything is possible. Hey. I grind to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Yeah. Oh man, I got a lot of goals. Stack that bread and by my nose. Anything is possible. I lean with it, I rock with it. Locks under my socks fitted. Tahoe with the black tint. Houston girl, heavy accent, but my whole swag is magic. High five, fantastic. Make the money stretch like elastic. Making moves that you couldn't imagine. Eating, still watching my calories. Just to pull in that big boy salary. It's just the way that it has to be. I'm a bad boy, Mike Lowry. While I'm sipping this Henny, and all of my niggas is with me. Yeah, grind hard, nigga, oh God.
Grind hard, nigga, oh God.
Yeah. Grind to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Hey. Oh man, I got a lot of goals. Stack that bread and by my nose. Anything is possible. Hey. I grind to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Yeah. Oh man, I got a lot of goals. Stack that bread and by my nose. Anything is possible.
What's happening, Dark Waters family? It's your boy Dark Waters, and I'm back. Tonight is Thursday, October the 28th. We are getting close to Halloween, to Occupy Halloween. How many of you guys are going to be spending some time with us this weekend? I hope it's a hell of a lot of you. We are definitely going ham. I hope you saw the promo today for the Occupy Halloween live stream where the cameras are going to be there and Vault's going to be in front of the camera. That's going to be really, really cool. There is a lot going on. If you haven't seen the schedule, let me show it to you because I'm pretty sure I have it here somewhere. I thought I had it here. Well, let me show it. Let me give it to you because we are doing it big for Halloween. Now, normally, I don't really even be worrying about Halloween. You know what I'm saying? I be like, I'm going to let them have it. But I'm not letting nobody have nothing no more. Nothing else. Everything is all out competition. Either you're doing it or you ain't doing it. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? There's our schedule. So, 11:45 a.m. on Saturday, we start with our opening prayer. Then we start with the Dogman story stream. That's going to stream from 12 to 7 when Sean Graham comes on with Chasing the Truth. As soon as he goes off, Sean may run longer because sometimes Sean runs to 10, 11. I'm never going to rush him. The minute Sean goes off, another Talking Dogman episode comes on. After that, the following day, we start and we just go ham. When the Woods wake up at 10 a.m. Then at 11, crap, I'm on a different TV. That hotel story is creepy. Then 12 noon, another prayer because that story prior to that was very demonic. Then Old Face Larry's Dogman encounter. That one's kind of funny. Then after that, Single mom shorts. Then my boss is an alien. That's stuff that's dropping on imdarkwaters.com. The first two are dropping on imdarkwaters.com. Um, then Old Face Larry is dropping on YouTube. Then Single Mom Short is dropping on YouTube. Then we're going back to imdarkwaters.com. My boss is an alien. Then we're coming back to YouTube. Quiet Storm, which is a Dogman story. Then Kirby. That's going to be on YouTube. Then the best of Talking Dog Man for the first 5 episodes, which I worked on today, is going to drop at 3 p.m. here on YouTube. Then we're coming back and we're going to talk about, well, the Giants is going to be on imdarkwaters.com. And then we're coming back to YouTube, Roshiba, Auntie Roshiba and Dogman, which is crazy. Then we get 7 o'clock, we get into what Vault's doing out there on camera, which should be very, very exciting, barring that there's no rain. It's really windy though, but we'll still be able to work it out. Then 9:30 or 9 o'clock, the Lights Out Dogman encounter here on YouTube, which is another frightening encounter. Then we get into Stitches, demonic story. Sticky Fingers, another demonic story. All those on imdarkwaters.com. And then back, finally, we ended off with a prayer at 12 midnight, and we wrap it all up. Ladies and gentlemen, is nobody doing anything like this on YouTube. You got guys who like, oh, we'll do a little show on Saturday or we'll do a little show on Sunday. I'm pretty sure some people are going to be streaming like paranormal stories all night long, but no interaction, no bouncing back and forth, no anything like this. And this is just primarily my channel. We haven't even added in the stuff that's going to be happening on Dogman Camps because DDoS is going to be going live over there. Vault should be live in throughout that day, doing random things on the camera and streaming himself. So you will be entertained for Halloween weekend. You will find yourself being highly, highly entertained. So peep your head in, check it out, see what's going on, and enjoy yourself, baby. That's what it's all about. It's all about you enjoying yourself. All right. Sound looks good. 81 people. Before we open the lines up, I want to start off by saying thank you guys for all your support. I had to move this stuff into the back bedroom because my kids are over here with me and they're studying for tests. And when I'm in the living room, I'm loud. I'm very, 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 very loud. I don't even know how not to be loud. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to move it to the back to where you guys can, to where I won't be as loud and I can enjoy some time with you guys. And it's a lot more comfortable and the sound's better insulated in here as well. So we should be doing extremely, extremely well. I see Marquita's there. Thank you, love. I saw Lakea's in the house. Whole bunch of people in the building. I'm going to open the phone lines up in one moment so we can start taking up some calls. Connor, I saw you call me today, man. I was on the phone. I'll give you a call probably tomorrow morning. Let's get these phone lines open. And let's see what we got going on here tonight. Let's see what we got going on. And let's get our number back up there for those who don't know it and would like to call. Get that out of the way. There it is. 504-354-0143. 504-354-0143. This is Talking Dog Man. The line's open. Give me a call when you are ready. When you are absolutely ready. Tonight, I want to hear more of you guys' creepy and scary encounters. It could be Dog Man. It could be something that you thought was Dog Man. Just don't call me with something that you heard from somebody that's not a family member. If it's like my guy called the other day and it was his dad's story. That was a great, phenomenal story. Don't call me referring to an episode of somebody else's podcast or show because, I mean, it's already out there. There's nothing exciting about hearing that. Most people have heard that kind of stuff before. Call me with your story. 504-354-0143. And let me get this cigar well lit before I start really, really running my mouth. Sean Graham was on last night over at Chasing the Truth on his YouTube channel. He ran late last night. I was up late listening to him. He went into some of his NDE encounters, and I thought it was funny because some of the callers were asking for proof of how could he prove he had an NDE. And it's interesting. He knows what he experienced. He knew he died. He knew what he experienced when he died. Um, and that's the amazing thing when it comes to us, the black sheeps, the misfits who encounter things like this. Everybody wants you to produce some form of evidence, and I'm glad I said that. We're gonna go check that camera in a minute after I finish this thought. Everybody wants us to produce some form of evidence to prove our experiences and our encounters. And I can understand the human mind wants to, um, they want to find a way to rationalize and justify things. So the average human mind says, well, you say you experienced this. I want to see proof. I want to see evidence. But in the case where you can't provide proof or you can't provide evidence, this is what I've done. I had this conversation today. I was out there talking to, I was at Cricket Wireless trying to get the SIM card for the Brown Springs camera. And the guy said, well, what are you going to use the cameras for? I said, well, I'm going to be using to capture paranormal evidence. And he says, well, I don't believe in the paranormal. I said, I guarantee you, you do believe in the paranormal. You probably just refuse to accept it. He said, how can you tell me that? I said, because everybody's had something freaky or weird happen in their lifetime. I said, have you ever had a premonition? He's like, well, what's that? I said, well, you kind of knew something was about to happen, or you had a dream it was going to happen, then it happened. He said, yeah, I had dreams that come true all the time. I said, that's paranormal. I said, have you ever heard anything strange or weird? Have you ever seen anything creepy or weird? He's like, when I was back at home in Mexico, we used to see creepy, strange, weird things all the time. I said, so what happened between the time when you were in Mexico to the time to today that allowed you to block that out of your mind and cast all the doubt? And we're talking about a stranger who just works in a store. And I dig into him and I say, you know what? At some point in time, you decided you didn't want to believe because you didn't want to deal with it. He was right. He's like, you're right. You're right. I didn't want to deal with that. I didn't want to have to think about that. You know, the possibility of what I saw when I was a kid and some of the things I heard being real is too much for me. I say, and that's 90% of the problem for everyone. It's not that they haven't experienced anything, because they have. Trust me. I think everyone has experienced something crazy or weird. The issue really boils down to whether they're willing to talk about it or not. And that's where the problem comes in. And that's a part of their mind and them rationalizing it and trying to figure out how they are going to deal with it. And most people can't. They just cannot deal with it. And it's okay. But I tell them all the time, just because you can't handle the truth, don't mean that I can't handle the truth. It doesn't mean that I'm not telling you the truth. And that's how you gotta be with them. You kind of gotta be smooth with the people. You can't, get offended by them. Just smoothly walk them down the road, like take them by their hand mentally, and walk them where you want them to go, and question them, and they're going to tell themselves the truth. And that's how it happens. 504-354-0143, 504-354-0143 is the call-in number. Jean Paul, what's up, baby? We got a lot of people in the chat. I see my man Chase in the chat, Prophet Yang in the chat. Guys, I really love you and appreciate you. Let's go on over and check out the camera and see what's going on the Dogman cam. Where is that app at? Where are you, Mr. Camera? Show me some love, camera. There you go. Let's see what we got going on here. If we got some rain, if we got some wind, if we got some Bigfoot. That looks like a hell of a lot of rain going on out there. All right, let me share this with you. Where are we? Where are we? We are here. Display. Capture. That is a hell of a lot of wind. I wonder if Willie's out there in the wind and in the rain. Let's close this so we can get a big screen. Alright. So guys, for the record, today I spent some time looking at this camera, a significant amount of time looking at the camera so I can remember the details. So here there's bushes that come down, and imagine making three lumps like this, three humps, boom, boom. So they get progressively smaller. So it's bushes there, they go up there, and they go up higher here. All right, just for the record. So when we're seeing eye shine up here, this is trees back here. This is a set of trees back here, and this is the space between the trees. Now there's space here on the other side of this bush, and all this above here is openings in the trees. Just so you guys will know what we got going on there when you take a look at it. That was one of the things that concerned me. I felt like we needed to get a little bit more detail about this dark area, which we see where we see One Eye Willie all the time. Which I don't think I see him out there tonight. He must be ducking for cover. Yeah, I think he's ducking for cover. And it's amazing because you can see the actual rain falling on this camera. Let's switch it to fluid. And let's see what kind of different view we have. Yeah, that's way worse. Terrible details on that. Absolute terrible. This is much better. So we discussed this today. I think the fire pit's going to go out here in this area. Um, I prefer for Vault to come like with his back close to this tree, maybe right here where he's closer to the tree. But I mean, I don't think you want to start a fire that close. But I prefer for them. I don't want him to. He needs to have his back to us, to the camera, so we can see everything. I don't want him over here in these bushes. Prefer for him to be like right up in here in this area. Um, but we spoke about him digging the fire pit. That was supposed to happen today, but it stormed really bad up there, and I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to do it tomorrow. We may be able to get that fire pit dug tomorrow. If not, it's going to have to happen Saturday morning. But as you can see, there's not much of anything going on the camera right now. Let's check one more time. Well, maybe we could hold on. Let's see how much light we got, guys. We might need a little bit more light to catch eye shine. Let's see. Let's go here. Let's go here. Let's go auto. Let's go here. Let's go there. Let's let it turn out. All right, so we have absolutely no extra light, so no supporting light. And that could be a bit of the problem. So let's get that fixed. Come back on. Go there. Let's see about getting us a little extra light. Give me one moment. The lines are open if you want to call 504 453 0143. 504 453 0143. Let's see if we can get this light that we need. I'm going to send Vault a text message. I'm not looking at the chat. He may be in the chat. What the hell is that, Connor? What the hell is that? I thought you couldn't get the camera to work, bro. Hold on. Connor, you still in the chat? Man, guys, I got to hold on. Hold the hell up. This shit he just sent me is weird. How do I get this to email? How do I email this to myself? Hold on. You have got to see this. I think we got some extra light just now. Man, hold on. This is crazy. I think I might give y'all a story while I wait on this. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Because this is insane. When did you catch that on the camera? Call in, Connor. When did you catch that on the camera? 504 453 When did you catch that on the camera? I mean, that was crazy, dude. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get this email up. Hold on. All right, so this email account is working. So we go here, and I recently had to switch phones. So let's go there. Let's go there. That's insane, and it's scary. Save that. Let's go back. Let's go here to this email. Guys, wait till y'all see this. This is sick. Attach file. I mean, this is. I don't know what the hell that is. Alright, now it's coming my way. That's insane, dude. Hey, this is Dog Waters, and you on Dogman Cam. Who's this, Connor?
Yeah. How you
What's
doing,
up,
bud?
buddy?
Not a whole lot.
Man, what the hell is that?
I don't have no idea. The camera kept going nuts. It kept kicking on and off. Showing the motion or something. It kept sending me alerts. And so I was eating, and I looked down, and it was right there. And I went to hit record because it didn't set out the motion. Where it automatically records the stuff.
Right.
And when I did, I just hit picture, and it took a picture of it, what the camera was showing. And then, I went to hit video, and the camera went completely blank and wouldn't do nothing.
That must have been a while ago, though, huh?
Yeah. That was when I first got the camera.
Dude, that's crazy. That's insane. I'm trying to get it in my email. For some reason, it's not coming through. And that camera was that's the camera that was on. You had to climb up the cliff to put it up there, right?
Well, I did go back and get it, and I moved it. And
Oh, okay.
that's actually up and behind my house.
Hell no. How close to your house is that?
I could probably hit it with a rock.
Well, what kind of shit you got going on outside your house, man?
I don't know.
Did you hear anything?
Well, I could hear something moving around, so I was in between going out there and looking and, trying to figure out what was going on. And, like I say, I come in and sat down and was eating. And like I say, the phone was just constantly beep, 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 beep. And I was watching the camera, and I couldn't see nothing. I got some video where they was throwing sticks at it. You could see the sticks going by the camera.
Oh yeah, they do that
And
a lot.
they wouldn't like falling. They was going like from side to side across in front of the camera.
Yeah, they do that a whole. They did that on the trailer camera a whole hell of a lot. It got to the point where it was actually kind of disgusting how much they was doing that.
Yeah, the thing just went off solid for. It'd be completely wouldn't do nothing. Like all day long, or see a squirrel or whatever would set it off, and then like 10, 11 o'clock, something like that, it starts just I keep getting the alerts.
Hold on, I'm downloading this image because I want people to be able to see it. This is freaky, dude. And when I say this is
And
freaky, yo, that I don't know what the hell that is, Connor.
yeah, I got no idea either. It's twisted, So, and if you look on the ground, it's lit up, but it ain't lit up where the stuff's coming down. You know what I mean? It's lit up funny on the ground.
Oh no, I agree with you. It's about to pop up right now. I have no clue. Let's see, display capture. I have no clue what the hell that is. I've never seen anything like that. Hold on, guys. Here we go. Man, I don't know what the hell that is. It can't be an orb. I mean, look at the tails on it. Is that like a
Yeah,
tube?
and it's twisted too. You
So
know,
that's
I
not
mean,
a
it couldn't
tree
be
right
no.
there that it's next to.
I can send you the other picture like a picture with nothing there. You want another picture so you can compare them?
Yeah, send me a picture with nothing there so I can compare them.
I'll probably have to hang up and tell you about it.
Dude, that's insane. I wonder if we can get. I've never seen it. It's almost like either it's a ray of light shining down, but that's pitch darkness out there, or it's shooting up. I
Yeah,
don't
there
know.
wasn't no light. When I took the picture, I immediately went up and looked out to the up toward through the woods towards it, and I couldn't see anything. And I wasn't going up there looking around.
Hell no, that make no sense to go out there messing with that. Whatever the hell that is, that's serious, man. I've never seen anything like that. And that's about
And,
what? That's a couple of 100 yards behind the property.
mm, I'd say 50
What?
yards. Yeah, it's pretty close. It ain't really far. I'd say they when they're coming in, they kind of cross through there, and I've heard them running or moving around by there. That's why I put the camera there, and you know, and I tried the other night. I went out there and went to the truck, and I had my headlamp on, and I could see yellow eyes up in the tree. And I went time I come back in the house to get the camera on my phone and was going to take a picture of it, and it was gone at the tree. I never even heard it hit the ground or nothing.
Nah, that's wild, dude. That's a wild. I don't know what the hell that is.
Yeah, I've got no idea what would even do that. I mean, you know, the thing got me is it's twisted. If you look at it, it's not coming down like a beam or a ray or nothing like that, and it's twisted. And then where it hits the ground, it doesn't hit the ground right. It's like opposite where the light, like some kind of lights below it. I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
know
looking at that.
yeah, I've got no idea what that was, but it blanked the camera completely out. It wouldn't do nothing. It wouldn't turn back on. I couldn't get any. The camera wouldn't do anything until the next day.
That's weird, dude. Lakea in the chat is saying it's a portal of energy. Have you ever experienced anything like that would allude to there being a portal out there? Have you ever seen any other lights in the woods? Just in the night in the dark, like you look out the window and see lights in the woods?
Nah, not that I can really say I have. I mean,
Hmm. That's crazy. Can you text me the other picture? Or have you already tried to text it?
I don't know if I can do it while I'm talking. Hold on one second. I'll see if I can do it.
Dude, that's creepy. That is uber creepy to say you got some crap like that. And that's not a bug. It can't be a bug. We've seen bugs on the other camera all the time. And the closest thing I got it came in. Um, well, I thought something came in. Maybe that's another email coming in. We've
No, I
seen
ain't
bugs
fixing
on
it.
on the other camera all the time, and they don't look like that.
I ain't never seen nothing on a camera that look like that. And like say, I thought maybe it could be some kind of light shining down or something, but you can see it's twisted. You know, it ain't a. I have no idea what to call that.
I don't know what the hell that is, dude. And that night you didn't hear no creepy sounds, nothing else. Just you caught this light.
Not that night. I didn't hear anything. It was just that the like say my phone, the alert started just going crazy, and I was watching on there and it didn't show nothing. So I laid the phone on the chair on the arm of the chair next to me while I was eating, and I happened to look down and there it was, and I'm like, what the hell? And I went to hit record and I accidentally hit the take a picture button, and it took a picture, and when I heard it do the shutter sound, I knew I took a picture, and I went to hit video, and before I could get my finger on video, the camera went blank. It knocked the camera out for until about lunchtime the next day is when I realized it was starting to work again.
Man, that's crazy. Teamwork make the dream work. Sean just emailed me the other photo. You must have sent it to him a while ago. Let's see. And
Okay.
let me grab it. The plane photo. And boom. What are you doing? Alright, guys, give me 1 second. It's coming up. Alright, so I should have that now. Let's see.
And those pictures were taken pretty close together. I mean, you can see, I think I took that one and maybe the next day to show that it wasn't trees or nothing, just so you could compare the two.
Oh no, I believe it. I know you ain't the lying type and you ain't the hoaxing type. You ain't got no time for that. That ain't even in your damn. That's not even in your makeup. Yeah,
No,
so this is definitely a tree right here. So that's a little tree. All right, let me
yeah.
go back to the other one. Can I do these side by side? I should be able to do them side by side. So we got one there. Uh oh.
Yeah, hell, I can't even get my Google account. I know I can't do no faking some kind of photos.
Yeah, that's creepy, dude. All right, that gives us, so that's 323, 321. All right, yeah, that's 10:12 p.m., 10:58 p.m. All right, yeah, that's I don't know what the hell that is, bro.
Yeah, I figured somebody might know or have some kind of idea because I've never seen nothing like that, or even, I've heard of orbs and portals and stuff like that, and I don't know if it's something like that or not, but I don't know what it is. All I can say.
It was crazy because I wanted to watch that camera, man. I just never could connect to it. It was insane. Because I figured we would catch a whole bunch of. If we didn't see them there, we would definitely hear them there.
Yeah.
Because I know you hear them all the time. How's the activity been lately? Has it calmed down, or I know you saw something in the trees just a couple of days ago, but outside of that, has it been in a lot of activity?
Well, I told you I got growled at.
No, no, you didn't.
I was in the house, and all of a sudden the dog. I got a big one of them heavy welded wire pins, and I had my dog out. He's right outside the house, and he started freaking out, and I got it like reinforced with fence wire too, and I thought he done got his foot hung the way he was freaking out and whining. And so I stepped out on the porch, and he just looked at me like he was all to hell, you know. And I was like, "What's wrong with the dog?" And so I go out there to check on him because I didn't know if he didn't hurt himself or what. The way he was freaking out, he was trying to dig through the fence to get out. And like I say, it's heavy welded wire with reinforced fence around it. And when I got out there to the pen, something growled at me pretty good. You know, I don't even know what it was, but it was a deep, like a rumbling kind of growl. It wasn't tremendously loud, but it was so deep, and you know, you could feel it. You know, you like you standing next to a dump truck when it starts up. You know what I mean? You can feel
Right.
that vibration,
That vibration, yeah.
and so I let the dog out, and he run for the porch, and you know I was right behind him, and he wanted in the house, and he come in the house, and he got up on the bed, and he sat there with his eyes wide open for a little bit, and then he lay down, and he didn't move all night long, and that's not really not like him. He's pretty. And another thing I got going on is all of a sudden coyotes um, showed up. I mean, like wearing me out. I've been seeing them. It was a pack of them. The dog run up in the edge of the woods. He don't even go out the yard hardly. I mean, he don't go nowhere. And he's a little sissy, the one I got now. And I heard him make his serious bark like it was something coming.
Right.
So as soon as I heard him do that, I grabbed the gun and stepped out on the porch, and he was running for me. And the coyote started yipping and yapping, and there was one that was like the pack of them was pretty much right up in the edge of the woods, and it was one that was up further up that sounded real deep. It was like it was trying to make the coyote yips and stuff, but it didn't sound right. And I tried to get the phone, and when I went back out there with the phone, I was going to record it, and it just all completely nothing. And I never heard another yip all night long. And then, since then, I've had coyotes. I go out there at lunchtime, step outside or whatever, and they'll be right up behind the house or just watching me. It's weird.
That's kind of crazy. So
Yeah,
when you heard that kind of extra large fake coyote sound, did the rest of them shut up afterwards?
yeah,
So you
yeah. It
know
seems that
there's.
one.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
As soon, like say they, I don't know if you ever heard coyotes, but they'll yip and talk and make all kinds of racket. You know, it's a more of a high pitched kind of racket, and they was all going nuts, and then that one, it yipped, but it was a deeper yip. You know what I mean? Uh, I don't really know how to explain it, but it definitely it sounded a lot bigger and deeper. And then they shut up and went on.
Well, there's this line of thinking, and I'll call it a line of thinking because I can't prove it. That when Dogman is in the area, that they dominate the coyotes in the area, and they become the alpha coyote, and they actually control the smaller coyotes. So they'll either run them out of the area, or the coyotes will run a pack with the Dogman. And if there's a kill, that's why you'll hear like coyotes growling and fight when they got a kill. And then people have
Mm-hmm.
said that witnesses have said, not people, because I've talked to two witnesses who said this. They would hear like this loud growl, and then all the coyotes would just shut the hell up, and then everything would go silent. But the growl was way louder than anything they ever heard, and it leads me to believe that maybe, you know, I'm not sure. You would know more about coyotes. Do they have like an alpha male coyote in their pack, like the leader of their pack?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So if a dog man kills that leader, then quite naturally he should become the leader of that pack. I'm thinking that might be a little bit of what you got going on. Um, Especially with them keeping an eye on you and being around and watching and being in the area. Um, that might be what's going down. You just got to be careful, bro. You know, you always got to be careful. You've been carrying a gun on you when you go back and forth from the truck, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm a big, heavy damn pistol.
That AK
Been
pistol.
carrying that thing. I've been carrying that thing with me. That's usually what I carry because it just got too aggravating trying to carry the rifle or damn shotgun all the time. So I got a 30 carbine pistol and 9 round. It'll hold 10 rounds and 9 with the clip. So if that don't slow it down enough for me to get away, then I'm done anyway.
Yeah, yeah, you all screwed if that don't slow him down. That's dude, that's creepy, bro. This picture's creepy, and just to know that, man, it's how long has it been you've been having this activity, man? It's been what, 3, 4 years?
Yeah, yeah, at least. I mean, you can go back and look. I don't remember when I first called you, but well, actually, I didn't even. I suspected it was some Bigfoot or something around just because of the odd trees being knocked over and stuff across the old road beds and stuff. But I hadn't really seen or really heard nothing. And then, I had them guys show up on my property, and that's when I actually called you, is because I had them.
Yeah, when people show up.
Yeah, and that freaked me out. I mean, they was armed and wouldn't talk to me, and I didn't know if I was going to get shot or what. I mean, I rolled out there with an AR right up in the middle of them before I realized they was even out there.
On this photo, you got a tree limb break right here. You can see this is a break where something broke a tree limb right there, where it's broken down, like it snapped. Like, this is crazy,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh, I can walk you around and show you all kinds of trees that just don't seem natural. You know what I mean? How they knocked over or broke over, or and like in the corners of the fields, and big fields that run a couple miles each way once you get to the main road. And you can just drive down through there and look out through there, and there'll be a tree just knocked over towards the field. And there hadn't been no storms or anything, and it still have green leaves and all on it. It's like, that didn't just fall over, and there ain't been no wind to knock it over or nothing. It's just some weird stuff.
No, you've always had weird stuff, bro. You've always had some weird shit going on over there. So the current dog, what's the name of the dog you have now? I remember Jackson. What's the name of the current dog?
Brody.
Brody. Okay, Jackson was the shit. Brody, does he? I know he's got a different personality than Jackson, because Jackson would run out to the woods, take a piss, and Jackson kind of developed the understanding of when to go out there and mess around and when not to. How's this dog doing overall?
He's doing good, but like I say, from the time I got him when he was a puppy, he'll go. He don't get out of the sight of the house ever, and he'll go up, maybe 50 yards or at the most in the woods, but he pretty much stays close to the house. And there's been several times that he'll be out there, and he'll just all of a sudden be freaked out trying to get in the house. I'll let him on in, and I'll go out there and check and see what's going on. But it's something out there that's spooking him. I don't know. It's just, like I say, he ain't no. He ain't going to fight nothing.
Right. He said he not built like that, huh?
Nah, he ain't a fighter. I mean, he'll bark, and I can tell by his bark if it's something serious, and he knows that as soon as he barks, I'm at the door. And he so if he needs help or whatever, he's at the door or give me his bark, and I go out there and either let him on in or check on him. Usually at night I keep him pinned up.
And you've never found anything, like there's never been any damage to the pin or anything like that, though, right?
To the pen,
Like the pin that
no,
he's in, you never noticed like any scratch marks on a pin, nothing that would signal that something was messing with him inside of his dog pen.
no, no. I haven't seen anything. And I
That's
put a
cool.
cover. Those covers that's on dump trucks at black heavy. I don't know what it's made out of. And big canvas kind of nets you see on dump trucks.
Yeah.
I've got one of them over the whole thing with steel cables and wire reinforcements and all over the whole thing. And it's I got concrete around the bottom with fence on the inside of it. Where nothing can dig around it.
Oh yeah, you made it. You made a fortress for him.
Well, yeah, I was trying to keep Jackson in because he
Yeah.
was going through. He went through my floor in a couple different places. He chewed my door completely off. It wasn't nothing left to it. I mean, he chewed way more than he needed to get out. And,
Right.
So I built that to kind of hold him in. And, now Brody, he don't even try to get out of it. He knows he can't get out of it.
Wow. That's crazy, dude. That's some crazy evidence right there. I wish I knew what the hell that was. I can only speculate, man. I don't know what a porter was supposed to look like. It's either a wisp or one of those, the lights in the woods that they tell you not to follow, or some kind of portal. It's definitely not a bug. There ain't no bug.
Oh, no, it ain't no bug or nothing. And it was on there for a good while because I looked down and seen it and had to put my plate and food down to reach over and grab the phone. And it didn't kick the motion sensor off. And meant to hit record and I hit the photo button and just took that picture. And as soon as I heard it click, I moved over and hit the record button, and the camera was blank. It wouldn't do nothing. It just was shut off. It wouldn't come back on. Nothing. So I didn't know what had happened to the camera. And then the next day, it started working again.
That's
And that's
weird.
odd. 'Cause I ain't never heard of him. It's a relay camera. This y'all camera.
Dude, I don't know, bro. I have no clue what the hell that is. I don't even think there's anybody who would know. Like I don't
Yeah,
see no face in it or nothing. It just looks like, and you know how they say it, an angel shining light down from above. That's what the hell it kind of looks like. See how there's those rays of light, and it's twisted
yeah,
and like in the middle, it's twisted and twirling like it's foggy. I don't know, dude.
yeah. And then if you look at the bottom, like where it should hit, if there was a light or something coming down, it don't hit there. It's over to the side. It's kind of lit up on the ground.
Yeah, it's kind of like there's a bright spot to the left of it, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But not where, like if a light or something had been shining down, it wouldn't have hit right there. You know what I mean? It'd hit a little further over. And it's twisted, so it couldn't be no light because you can't twist no light like that. If it was some kind of light source or, I have no idea. Like as soon as I clicked that picture and the camera went off, I immediately got up and went right out there and looked to see if it was glowing or lit up or whatever. And I didn't see nothing. And I come in and I messed with the camera for a while trying to get it to come back on, and I never could get it to work until the next day.
Man, I don't know. That's creepy. I have no clue what that could be. That is freaking creepy. Were you ever hearing any sounds on the camera when it was running? You ever catch any
When that
footsteps?
happened, uh, I I don't know. It was just so many times that thing kept going off, and I try to check them and watch, the little it go off for 30 seconds or 50 seconds or what, however long it records for. And I'd go back and watch and try to listen and everything. And most of the time, I couldn't, it wasn't showing anything. There was a couple of times you could see like a dark figure going across, like at the very, as far as you could see in the camera. You know what I mean? It was like at the very, where the camera wasn't quite picking it up, but you could see it moving from, left to right.
Yeah, like it was outside of the range of the IR camera.
Yeah, yeah. But it was close enough that you could see, you could make out there was something big and black that was moving across there, but you couldn't tell what it was. I don't know if you can, blow that up, or I don't know how it works.
Well, if you see something, you can take your two fingers and spread out and look all the way. Like those cameras allow you to zoom in. Like if you're on your phone, you can pinch and spread your fingers, and it'll let you zoom all the way to the back, or it'll let you zoom to a certain spot on the camera and see. Um, yeah, it will let you zoom just like you could zoom in on a photo. You can zoom on a live camera.
Oh, well, I had never tried that.
Yeah, but that's uber creepy, man. When I say that's uber creepy, that's really really creepy. And it could be that something was there and it saw the camera because that IR light gives off this purple glow when it's on.
Yeah.
So it looks like a
Mm-hmm.
purple eyeball like out in the woods. Like if somebody was just walking through the woods at night, they would freak the fuck out. They saw that. You know what I'm saying? Because they would just see a purple eye. Like what the hell is that shining in the woods? Um, and we found over
Well,
on, huh?
where it's at, there ain't nobody gonna be walking by it. I mean, nobody. Um, I'd say it's actually on my neighbor's property because the line's right there, and I told him, and he don't care. And
Hey,
I put
whatever
in a
happened
raise.
to your homeboy that we tried to talk to at the barbecue?
I talked to him later about that, and he told me that he shot one, and he trailed it. He was hunting, and he said it looked like a big wolf, and he decided he was going to shoot it. And because he said he hadn't been no deer, he hadn't seen anything, and he said that that's what was scaring him off. So he said he took a shot at it, and when it took off running, he said it went right up on two legs and was gone. And so he started hollering for, it was somebody else that was hunting near him, and he started hollering for them. And they went and looked, and he said he couldn't find any blood, but he was pretty sure he hit it. And I tried to get him to talk to you about it, to say things. He's pretty close, and he's probably, and he was hunting him behind his house, so he's about, I think maybe a mile from him.
And he ain't had nothing else after that though, huh?
Well, I don't know. He didn't want to talk about it no more, and he said he hadn't been back there hunting. So I don't know. I don't know. He got real, you know. He didn't want to talk about it. Like I said, he told me, but he didn't really want to elaborate or say too much about it.
That's crazy though how people have those encounters, then they don't want to talk about it. Like, but I can understand. He don't want people thinking he a freaking nutbag, but I mean, you definitely shot a wolf that ran on two legs. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem with this field. Most people are encountering this. They just won't talk about it. You know what I'm saying? They just won't.
Yeah,
And then you get people who want to talk about shit and they just be fucking lying. You know what I'm saying? They
yeah,
just, oh, I'm gonna
yeah.
tell you my story. I bet you lying. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Yeah, it just starts going so far down the rabbit hole. You're like, I don't know. When you seen the Bigfoot, that sounded good, but now he's driving a UFO and
Yeah,
uh, been bred with your aunt and all
yeah.
kinds of crazy.
Got a Joe
Uh,
Biden bumper sticker, a cigar in his mouth, flying on a UFO, a triangle shaped UFO. You know what I'm saying? With
yeah,
Dolly
yeah.
Parton, that kind of crazy shit. People be tripping, man. But um, it is what. But that's a good capture, man. Did you capture anything else on there? Oh, that was it.
Uh, Nothing that I could, like say, I seen several times I could see it, like in the very background, big objects going by that appeared to be solid black. But like I say, you couldn't make out any detail, and I didn't know you could zoom it or anything. Uh, like I say, I don't mess with too much technology.
Well, we're working on getting the carrier that we had, Cricket. Like today, I got one of the cameras up and running, and then I had to call them because immediately I was getting ready to put it in a box and ship it off, and I was like, let me do one more test on this camera, and they suspended the account for the camera because they said it was only for talking, texting devices. So I spent like 3 hours on the phone with T-Mobile today to get them to verify that they can use this camera on their plan. They can. So I got to go to T-Mobile tomorrow, replace that SIM card, and get more SIM cards to ship out for the camera so we can get them working again. And then we'll be off to the races, man. It's just a matter of getting them rolling and making it
Yeah,
happen.
I had to get my old phone. I downloaded a security update, and when it was finished, it deleted my SIM card. And
Wow.
I was like, how the hell is a security update from, US Cellular eat my SIM card? So I went to the store, and they messed with it and put a new SIM card in it, and it deleted the new SIM card, and they what do they call it, rebooted my phone or erased everything, and did the factory reset thing on it.
Hmm.
And after they got done with that, they put another new SIM card in it, and it deleted it.
That's weird.
Yeah. So I had to use. I happened to have my other phone. I had to go back and get it, and I just got my old phone activated, which has the Remax stuff on it. Because I hadn't, when I changed phones, I just hadn't
Yeah, and
fooled with it.
uploaded the real link to it. I wonder, well,
Yeah.
so the real link wasn't on that phone, so we can't assume it was like somebody like, oh, he got evidence on his phone, we gonna burn his phone up. So that couldn't be it. That was just some weird, freaky stuff, man.
Yeah, I don't believe they're associated. Um, like I say, I did a security update, and the phone never couldn't. And after that, I couldn't call. I couldn't look at YouTube. Nothing. You know.
You know who I
And
want to talk to, Connor? I want to talk to your neighbors, the ones that's all on that same piece of property, man. That black family that's over there, that's got like
yeah,
all the houses. They still not being talkative though, huh?
nah, nah. I went over and seen. Well, Dap's brother was over there. Dap wasn't at the house, but yeah, they got that place lit up. Looks like an airport. And I mean, this is back in. You got to cross the creek 5 times. The creek 5 times to get to their place. It's back up in the mountains. And went over there and was, I go over every now and then to see them and check on them and everything. And like I say, they got light poles. It ain't but like 5 houses right there together. And it's mowed. They got the whole field mowed way away from the house all the way up to the edge of the woods. And Ain't another house was close to the woods. And Dap he retired probably, I don't know, 5 years or so ago. So he's right around 70. And he said he ain't been in the woods since he was a little boy. And ain't none of them none of them go in the woods.
That's crazy,
And
dude.
I mean, they growed up logging. They used to log out. I mean, they're outdoors, country, people that worked in the woods for a living. And it's real odd that none of them even go in the woods. I mean, I've been hunting over there for, I don't know, 20, 30 years. And, I still don't even know where the property lines is. And there's nobody that goes in there. I don't even have no clue. I've never seen but one person in there. And he didn't know where the property lines was either. I run him out of there. And I don't even know if I was on whose land I was on, actually. But I run him out of there. It's 68 acres just on what they own. And then it joins probably a couple hundred acres on each side. And don't nobody come in there. Don't nobody hunt. All hunting season, it ain't a pickup truck that goes through there. It's strange because it's, creek. The holler I hunt in, it's a big creek. Another big creek that goes into it. I mean, it's perfect. They over on the other side, they got a, they bring in like trophy deers so they'll breed.
Right.
And he has the game warden patrol his private property. I don't know how that works, but like over on the other side of the creek where I'm working at, and I always thought that was odd that the game wardens come in there and patrol that. So I don't know if there's something else going on over there or what. But
I guarantee you there's something going on over there. I mean, none of it adds up whatsoever. When you first told me about it, I thought nothing added up. I just was hoping that one day they'd be willing to talk, which it seems like they are not about talking whatsoever. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, nah. And I worked with that for about 5 years. And, we're on good terms. I've known him, like I say, 25, 30 years I've known that. And, he's funny. They don't even want to bring him in. And I was asking, I was like, well, let's walk up on the road. And I had the rifle with me. I said, just come on up here. We'll walk around the road and you kind of give me an idea where the property line is or something. And he just shook his head, wouldn't even consider even going out on the road that goes through there.
Wow. That's just a family that's seen something, man. They've seen a lot, and they refuse to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? They've seen a lot, and they
Yeah.
just refuse to deal with it. I guarantee you, if they could tell their story, whoever this is that's calling back to back, man, call one more time. I'm gonna block your ass. That don't make no sense. Um, it just makes no sense that they wouldn't, they wouldn't go in the woods when they had that type of property. I mean, that size of property. It makes no sense whatsoever that they just wouldn't go in the
Yep.
woods. And
They like I say, it's 68 acres, and they're living on, I'd say, 7 acres of it, and that's all they pull. They don't go in the woods or nothing. And like I say, they're in the woods. You got to cross the creek 5 times and drive. I bet it takes from the main road. It's at least half an hour to get in there,
what?
and that's if and that's if the creek ain't up. The creek's up, you can't even get in or out.
Wow, they really in the woods. So if the creeks is up and they back there, they flooded and they stuck back there.
Yeah, yeah, and they've done that their whole lives. When I worked with Dap, he'd be like, "Yeah, it's getting ready to rain. I'm gonna." He had a couple different girlfriends, and he'd go stay with one of his girlfriends when he had weather. and you know, he'd go on back to his house when he could get back in.
Nah, that's creepy, man. I would love to find out what the hell is going. Either they got a bunch of dead bodies buried up in there, or they got some very very bad activity that goes on over there. He don't seem like no
Well,
serial killer or nothing like that, huh?
yeah, nah, I don't get that vibe at all from them. I mean, they just nice. You know, like I say, I work with Dad. I know his brother. Um, I've met the rest of the family. I knew his dad. Um, yeah, his dad was something else. But he wouldn't go in the woods, and he used to pulpwood cut back there. I mean, they used to take horses and drag logs out there. Is what they did. And when I started hunting down there, this was probably about 1990, somewhere around in there is when I started hunting down there. And wouldn't none of them show, and that was strange, you know, when you go on somebody's land, you know, hey man, won't you show me where your property lines are so I don't get on the neighbor or whatever? You know what I mean? That's just or you know, so you can just be sure. And he was like, nah. He said, you hunt back there, you go down that deep holler and go all the way to the end of it, and it's one more ridge, is what he told me. After you get to the end of the holler. And so that's kind of what I around what the boundary is. But nobody hunts the stuff around it either. And it's the first time I went back there, it was I killed 3 8 pointers leaning against the same tree that week. 3 8 pointers. And you know, two of them was smaller, you know, little basket eights. But I was like, man, I am in, you know, I got it made. And then I walked out a little different way and tried to circle up to another old road. And that's when I seen, I don't know what it was, chasing a deer up there. I thought it was a bear. And, you know, I ain't never killed a bear. I really don't care if I kill one, but if I do, I want to kill a big one. And I looked down through there, and I could see something huge, but the holler's so steep down there, you can't really see to the bottom. And you know, it was running up through her behind that deer. And I kind of thought it was odd that it was a bear chasing a deer, because generally black bears don't try to run down deer, at least not that I know of around here. And the deer was hauling ass, and this thing was catching up. And I put the scope up because, you know, like it was so thick you couldn't see, and then there'd be a spot, and when the deer run through a spot about halfway up on the ridge, it was a little open spot. I throwed the gun up and was holding it in that open spot. And as soon as it got in the scope, you know, I knew I had just a little bit of a window there, and I was trying to pick my shot. I was going to shoot it like in towards the spine, up between the front shoulders is where I was going to aim at. And when I moved the scope to try to get it there, it was humped up funny, and it seemed like it was moving funny, and the hairs on it had like silver. I don't know if it was silver or like iridescent, maybe clear where the light was hitting it, but it had tips. It wasn't a solid black like a black bear. It had tips on the end of it. I don't know if that makes sense, but
That make all the sense in the
uh,
world. For those of you listening who don't know, Connor's story, this story that he's telling right now is one that was on one of the very first Dogman albums I released called I Had It in My Scope. And Connor, since you've told that story to me and over the years, there's been a number of witnesses come forward. At first I thought, Connor, they were like jacking what you said, your story, and like stealing bits and pieces of it.
uh,
But then I talked to some people and they really started going deeper into, like, one guy was like, man, it was black. It was black fur with gray tips. Like the tips of the fur was gray, but it still looked black. And I'm like, well, how does it
Yeah.
look? He's like, it looked pure black, but it went through my scope. It had these gray tips on it. He's like, it's like just small gray tips. He's like, I never seen an animal with that type of fur. And so, yeah, you hit the nail on the head, man. I've talked to a couple of people who've described that, and they're all outdoorsmen, like avid outdoorsmen, like you. I mean, 100% woodsmen. They can go out in the woods and kill a hog. They can kill a deer. They can kill turkeys. You know, the exact personality type is yours, and you guys you're just not the type to sit here and lie. You know what I'm saying? Um,
No, and the reason I didn't shoot is because I don't never shoot anything unless I'm sure what it is. And it shocked me so much that I was like, it's huge and it's black, but it ain't a bear. But it just hit when you're looking through the scope. You don't have that um, big a view. You know what I mean? I had it was a high powered deer rifle, and I had it cranked down. So just going through that little opening right there, I was looking through the scope about the whole time. And when I kind of got confused for a second because I was picking my shot, and then everything was telling me this ain't a bear. And so I pulled the gun down to look, and by the time all I could see was black with my naked eye running out the thing, and it run up to the top of the ridge, and I could hear it when it got the deer. They caught the deer. And I thought about going up there, and I was like, I ain't messing with nothing up there. It was on the other side of that big holler. And I told you about having the deer taken out the back of my Bronco, didn't I?
no, when that happened.
It was about the same time. And I went to leave out of there, and I had an old 74 Bronco, and I used to take the top off of it in hunting season, and because I could road hunt all the way in there. It's probably 5 miles or so from my house, but I can cross the dirt road, cross the main road right here. Here's my driveway, and I can pretty much road hunt the whole way in and all the way out. So I'd killed a doe, and I had it in the back. Well, when I got to and it's gated back there. I mean, it's all private property. So when I stopped at the gate, thing flooded out, and I couldn't get it started again. The battery went dead. So I left out of there, and when I come back to get it, I had my girlfriend with me, and I pulled up to the thing, and I'm hooking up the jumper cables and all that. Well, I got a flashlight, she's got a flashlight. So she's standing there, and I done told her I killed a deer. So she's looking over and going to look at the deer. And she said, ain't no deer in here. I said, yeah, and didn't think nothing of it. And she was standing over, and she was kind of looking at me funny. She said, no, there really ain't no deer in here. And so I went over and looked, and it was gone. And I could see the blood where it done drug it up over the side. And I could see the impressions in the ground where it was 2 feet. But at the time, I was thinking it was just a black bear standing on its feet. And it was laurel right there, real thick laurel, and I could see the path where it went. And I started in the laurel. I was like, well, he done stole my deer. I'm going to kill this bear. And I didn't get in there too far until I heard some ferocious growling, and I backed on out of there and went home.
When you say was it ferocious, as in think of Dogman ferocious or something else?
I thought it was a bear at the time, but it just sounded like deeper and louder than a bear. But
Right.
I'd never really had a bear really growl at me serious that was protecting the deer. You know what I mean?
Right. So you just chalked
So
it up as if it was a bear, which makes sense.
yeah, it was just an extra. an extra aggressive bear. Is what it seemed like to me. And so I said, here, you can have that one. I'll get another one. And but yeah, I was all over at the same place.
I'm
And
gonna
then
let me ask you a question before you go to the next thing, because we've been talking a long time. Like I said before, I consider us friends. That's why I didn't know you
yeah,
went back out there and got that camera. That's why I told you, man, fuck that, leave that camera out there. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want nothing to happen to you. How do you mentally deal with that shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you? Because I've seen, I know where you are. I've seen it on a map. I know what you do. I know you have the cars out there. How do you mentally deal with that threat just constantly being there? And like, you can't ever let it. You know how most people get an opportunity where something can be in the back of their mind and they can let it go. I know you can't let that shit go. So how do you deal with that mentally?
well, at first it had me pretty shook up. I mean, I was talking to you when when it was first going on, and and then it kind of pissed me off, and and I don't know. I didn't go. I bet it was the first 2 years, that started going on. I did not go outside at night. Did not. And I'm used to camping and doing whatever and not coon hunting and going, and I just would not go outside. And now I done got to where I'll go out there, but I don't make it a habit of, when I'm out there, it's hard to concentrate on what I'm doing because I'm looking around and listening and, watching. And I got to carry that damn big old heavy pistol with me all the time, and a flashlight and a headlamp.
That's what I'm saying. Like you got to you. It's like you got to be on for war every time you go out the house, which is crazy.
Yeah. Well, I thought about moving or selling out, and then they calmed down, and they must be. They're not here all the time.
No, absolutely
I
not.
know some people say they got a bunch of them that live in this little patch of woods, but these, well, from us talking over the years, they come and go, and it's just weird when they do come around. Like the other night when I got growled at, I was not expecting that, and I did. I'm 20 foot from my back door when I'm going to the pen to let the dog, just check on the dog. And, I didn't take the pistol with me. I just want him, he was whining and yelping and digging so hard, it sounded like he had his foot hung and was panicked trying to get loose, is what it sounded like. Because I could tell he was panicked. So, as soon as I jumped up, I just straight out the door to check on him. And, we didn't even think it was anything else out there. And, oh man, I know these people like to hear these stories for entertainment and all, but I tell you what, it sucks. Like I say, just like the other night, I looked up there, just going to the truck, and I had the pistol. And I seen them yellow lights. I mean, amber-looking eyes up in the tree, up in the crotch of a tree. And I just backed on out. I hadn't even made it to my truck. The trucks were right in the driveway. And I come on in, and I thought, well, I'm going to get the phone and make a video of it. So I come straight in the house, got the phone, and got my AK-12 gauge, and went on back out there, and it was gone. And I never heard it hit the ground, nothing.
Man,
I cut 68 trees off my property just because they was in the trees out here.
I remember you told me that. I remember when you did that. You gave it to the logging company because they was working up the road. You told them cut it. That's when
Yeah,
That was right around the time when all that stuff happened with Jackson, when somebody hit something on the road and all that crazy shit.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that was you went through a lot, man. You went through a lot with these creatures, which I found it interesting that once you kind of lost it and didn't give a shit, that they backed off, and I thought that was the most insightful thing that anybody's ever talked about with a dog man and color, because you were just like, fuck it, we going at it, and they left you alone. You know what I'm saying? And they
yeah,
left you alone, which I think that shows to me that I believe that they can smell fear, and that they knew they had fucked with you too much, and it was like, this dude is willing to die, so we got a choice to make, and we gonna leave him the hell
yeah.
alone.
Yeah, after Jackson got killed, I got mad and I went out there and I walked out in the woods and went up and down the ridge and hollered, you know, come get some, you know. And at the time, I was like, I'm going to shoot one. I don't know if I'm going to kill it or they're going to get me, but I'm going to shoot one. And, and they left. And like I say, I hadn't heard anything until the other night when I had that growling, and then they got the coyotes immediately. The next night or the night after it was the coyotes started in and around. It's kind of like he sent them there to watch me, or I don't know. That sounds funny, but it's just a feeling, because you don't have a coyotes around every day. You know what I mean? And right in the yard. And watching, and oh, I'm just
No, it don't sound crazy, because there's been people who reported the exact same thing. Just like you were the first person that explained to me the herding of the deers, how the deers will be right up against the house, like all out in the yard, and then all of a sudden the bitches just be gone and you can't find a deer anywhere. It took a long time to piece
yep,
that together. I didn't realize until after talking to more and more people that they were actually herding the deers out of the area for food into other areas as they moved around. And so that's why there would be times when you had deer and you were like, man, I could shoot a deer out my window. And the next thing you know, there wasn't a deer anywhere to be found. Um,
yep,
so you're not crazy, brother. You're just dealing with some real shit. You know what I'm saying? You're dealing with some real shit. Ain't nothing crazy about you. It don't sound crazy.
yeah. Well, like I say, it's just been a roller coaster ride because I've had this property a lot. And see, I think most of it was I was construction, so I was gone all the time, or I had me a girlfriend I was shacked up with, or
Yeah.
I wasn't home a whole while. Usually when I was home, it was sleeping or daylight or whatever, and then I had started staying around the house a whole bunch more. I got tired of traveling and all, and so I was here all the time, and that's when you know things just kind of ramped up. Like so I had them. I tell you, that's probably shook me up as much as anything. Is I looked out and I could see a little bit of a light. It was like a little green, it looked like an LED light, like a little indicator light on something.
Uh huh.
And I could see it down through the woods. And I was like, somebody's up here trying to steal some shit, because I got a bunch of cars. I got some good stuff. And I was like, they're done. I'm going to catch them. So I went out there like a ninja. I didn't cut no lights on, nothing. I went out there, eased out the back door, used my vehicles for cover, and got down through there and got right up on him. And just by the time I was getting ready to, bust him out, I could hear movement all the way around me. And it was like they rose up out the bushes around me with M16s and had the black uniforms and all on it. And I honestly thought I was going to get shot right then. Because there I am with an AR pointed at the one guy, and then I got these other ones just kind of pop up around me. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. And immediately put the gun up over my head and said, I'm the property owner. I heard somebody's out here. and, you know, what do y'all need? You know, and they wouldn't even talk to me. And it was like, hey, you going to answer me? And they didn't answer or nothing. So I was like, I stood there for a second, and I was like, I started backing out. So I got the gun over my head, and I'm backing out, and still don't know what they wanted or anything. I come back in the house, and I sat here for a little bit, and I was like, well, maybe they got the wrong address, and they're going to do some kind of, you know, try to bust me or something, you know, for something. And I don't do nothing. There ain't no reason that the cop would be at my house for anything. And so I waited, and I went back out there to talk to them, and I'd catch little like glimpses of them, you know, and try to get up, but they was around. It was just odd the way they was moving too, you know. It's kind of like they was positioned around my house, but facing away from my house, you know, when I'd see them. And so I come on back in the house, and I tried to make contact with them a couple times, and they wouldn't talk to me. So I come in, I flipped off, went in there in the bedroom, turned the light on, took my clothes off where they could see me. Well, down to my underwear, like I'm going to bed, and turned the light off, and then I had my clothes right there in the pile. I snuck them back on, eased up through, and I come back in the living room, and I could hear a little bit of footsteps, real faint, like right outside my front door. So I flung the door open, and I had my AK-12 gauge with 20 rounds in it. And when I flung the door open, the porch light wasn't working, but I turned the living room light on, and I could see the dude. I mean, I could make him right out right there. He's right in front of my front door. And I got a 12 gauge pumped at him, and he didn't even flinch. He didn't even pay no attention. He kind of like half glanced over and turned his head and looked at me. And I'm like, man, just tell me what you want. I'm going to shoot your ass and all this stuff. He didn't even care. And this was a big dude, too. I'm 6'3". I'd say he was 6'6", 275. I mean, a big old boy. And he didn't even care I had the gun pointed at him. And I was like, and the whole thing had me so messed up that I was like, fine then, y'all do what you want to do. And I shut the door. And I was like, well, if they wanted me, they could have got me at any point in time. So I was like, hell with it. I'm going to go to bed. And I went in there and tried to sleep, and there wasn't really no sleeping. And the next morning I got up, and the first thing I did is I went to the state police station, and I talked to the head of the state police, and I was like, hey man, I don't know what y'all got going on, but I had, you know, I didn't know if it was military, law enforcement, what. My first reaction, they was probably, you know, I thought maybe they was law enforcement, but he was like, no, I can't disclose any ongoing, you know, whatever they're doing, operations. He said, and he was on the computer, and he stopped, and he said, that being said, there ain't nothing going on around your house. And he done looked me up too, and he was like, nah, we ain't got a reason in the world to be checking on you. You know, you ain't broke no laws, ain't been in no trouble. And so I left there and drove about 30 miles to the sheriff's station. And I had to wait about half an hour to talk to the sheriff. I told him the same thing. And he was like, nah. He said, you know, I can't disclose that, but, you know, we really don't have nothing going on, and you're not on our radar for anything. So I said, well, I got armed people on my property in the middle of the night, and I ain't happy about it. And he said, well, why didn't you call law? I said, I thought it was y'all, you know. And he said, no. And I said, well, if they come back, I'm going to shoot one of them. And he's like, no, you can't do that. And I said, he's armed on my property. And he wasn't real happy about that.
Well, I found out a little bit more about that. I'll tell you when offline what I discovered about that, and then I'll share something else with you. So the guy down in Florida, Blue, which I think D Doss did an interview with him today. I got to follow up with D and see what happened. After he had that encounter over in Fort Pierce, he had unmarked cars, multiple unmarked cars, outside of his in that neighborhood for like a week, and well, Fish and Wildlife or whatever, Wildlife and Fisheries went back into that wooded area, told him that it was an unnamed or unknown primate that was back there, and then everything quieted down. Well, there was another witness up the street that came forward with a dogman encounter where there was a dogman looking like through their front freaking how you have the window on your front door, like the little square
Yeah.
window, looking through that window. That
Yeah.
witness, about 2 weeks after they told me that story, called like frantically and was like, James, what you doing? It was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, yo, dude, I'm like fucking sleep. What is wrong with you? Why you calling me at 1 o'clock in the morning? He's like, I see these blue lights in the woods behind the property. And I'm like, what kind of blue lights? He's like, blue lights. It looked like men walking through there. And I'm like, blue lights, blue lights, blue lights. And I said, okay, well, do you have binoculars? Do you have anything? And I go to the camera that Blue has trying to see it, and I can't catch it because it's further down. He's further down to the left of the camera where Blue is. And I'm like, man, I don't see anything, man. I don't see nothing. I was like, you won't go knock on Blue's door and maybe I'll go down. And he's like, fuck no, I'm not going down there. All right, so that ends that. I talked to another witness that breaks down what those lights are, who they are, and where they come from. And that shit is so insane. Me and you got to talk about that tomorrow. That shit is insane. It's what you saw was the night vision lights that they were wearing, and since you had them, they've changed their type of night vision. It's no longer green; it's blue. It's like an ice blue color. And
Oh,
dude, because there was another witness that saw the green night vision on his property, like 20 of them, like walking in a straight line, like they was trying to track some shit when he was out hunting.
yeah,
So
yeah,
clearly, there's a group that deals with this. It's clear that they deal with it. Now, who it is, I'm not sure. Well, actually, I'm kind of sure. I just don't want to say. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you, but I ain't about to
yeah.
say that shit here. I think I could tell you where they come from, what base they come from too. But I got to tell you a whole bunch of shit off the record, like a whole. Let me ask you this: have you found any dung piles out there? Any piles where you found like piles of poo, where you found feces?
Yep,
How big were they?
yep. It's got usually has like fur. It looks like deer fur and
Yep.
like other animal fur in it, and it's
Blood
pretty
in
good
it.
pile.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. That's what you got, buddy. That's them. That's your old dog man right there. Because it's normally
And
it's. Go ahead.
well, I think there's both of them traveling through here because when them dogman run, their steps are different. Like when you hear them run, it's like a choppier, I don't know, like a quicker succession steps. And it's been several times went out there and I heard them run, and it was like chunk, 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 like a big, long stride and heavy, and sound like big feet. It didn't sound the same. Uh, so I've definitely heard two, and I sent you the pictures where that one. I was sitting there and something just told me. I didn't hear nothing or anything, but something told me to shine the light out the window. And I grabbed the light, went out there and shined it, and I caught the brown running. And he run over and he hit the other dog pen I got and tore down the. Well, he hit a tree. I don't know if he run into it looking back because I was trying to shine the light that way. And I think he was trying to look at me and wasn't paying attention. He run into a tree and knocked one tree over one way and hit the fence. And it looked like he broke out the two fence posts, just snapped two fence posts completely off. And the tree didn't do it. The tree was knocked over. And then I could hear him go the other way, and it was like a tree next to him. He knocked over the other way, and it almost landed on my truck. So it
Yeah, that
snapped
sounds like
off two
Bigfoot
fence.
right there.
Yeah, so I think that one was a Bigfoot. Just way things went now. And I went out there, and like I say, I've been trying to get footprints now. I got one I sent you that was that big as my hand, and
I remember that one.
but I got like orange clay and slate, and it don't hardly leave. I mean, you can put a bottle jack and jack up a truck about anywhere, and it ain't gonna hardly leave a indentation in the ground. It's that hard orange clay mixed with slate, so it's real hard. Looking for footprints.
Well, no, man, you had some shit over there, bro. You've had some shit over there, and it's amazing because um, I tell people all the time that most people when they talk to someone about a dogman encounter, they get that encounter and then they never talk to them again. And so they don't pick up all the other little small things that happen after, the things that transpire after that completely confirm that it's a true encounter. And you're just a living example of, like, it's not a one-off thing for people who really live in dogman areas. You constantly have to be on guard and be aware that there's a chance that one of these things could be, right outside your door or behind the car or in a tree. You have to be paying attention, man. You really do.
Yep. On Sean's show the other night, there was a guy that was given coordinates of where he seen Dogman and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look back, I don't give too much location you can find me, but you know where I'm at, but you know what I mean.
Right.
But he named about 25 miles from me to another location that's 2 miles from me. That they were in between that, and that road. I rode out that mountain road the other day, and you could hide a herd of elephants up in there. I mean, it's thick, mountains, steep, and it's all some corporation owns the mountain. It ain't really like private property. If you get caught in there, you get tickets and all that stuff. But like I say, nobody really. It's too steep to hunt. I've hunted on the lower part of it, and it's so steep that you can't hardly get in there. And the rest of it is just solid mountains. They're getting ready to put windmills up there. It's so big of mountains.
Yeah, I would love to talk to the crew that goes in there to do that. They got some shit for their ass when they go up in there. You know what I'm saying? They got some every time somebody decides they're gonna go into the mountains on them ridges and do stuff. Oh my God, they get a surprise unlike anything they have ever heard of. But I think it's interesting kind of because prior to me putting out coordinates, nobody was putting out. It's I don't get the credit, I don't get my flowers, and I'm cool with it. But prior to me, there was nobody giving coordinates. Well, nobody doing none of
Nope.
this shit, man. Now, and then all of a sudden, oh, I
Yep.
got coordinates. And if I guarantee, if you go look at my map, it's in between some of those spaces where I put on the map. It's crazy, but it is what it is, man. I'm just happy that people are now moving towards. It's still entertainment, but it's informative entertainment to where because it's real shit. Like you don't need to be going to that coordinates. You don't. If you just so happen to be in that area, you could die or you can end up in a dung pile just because you didn't know. So I'm happy as far as the topic is concerned, is taking a twist towards really being serious. You know what I'm saying? As
Yeah.
opposed to just people listening because that was scary. You know, it was insane, man.
Well, like I say, I was hesitant. For the first couple of years, I didn't. My name wasn't mentioned. You did the stories and all, but it what kind of got me is that these people. I don't think these things are as nice as what a lot of these people. They're greetings, and I give them an apple, and they bring me a shiny rock and stuff like that. I don't get that feeling from them. There ain't nothing around. Whatever's coming around here ain't one to be friends. Because well, as soon as it started happening, you told me not to shoot at them and all that, so I pretty much refrained from that. I did open up a shotgun one night, but I wasn't really aiming at them. I was just opening it up in the trees and in the direction where they was making noise. And I didn't get any ill effects from that, but maybe it was just I got lucky, or they knew that if they done anything. If I got a shot, I was gonna kill one of them, or at least gimp it up good.
Yeah, I know you told me that many a times. You say, "Hey, man, I'll shoot one of them." I'm like, dude, only if you got to. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, I just want them to leave me alone. They come up in the middle of the night. There for a long time, they kept throwing sticks. And it wouldn't be big sticks, big enough to do anything, but just be sticks, like little pieces of stick and some rocks sometimes. But it ain't a whole lot of good-sized rocks around here to pick up, And they'd hit, and I'd get up, and I'd turn the porch light on and look around, and like I say, they was going around slapping my vehicles. Like they'd run. You could hear them run through, and like you took a palm of your hand and smacked the side of a pickup truck bed as hard as you could smack it. Whack. And you know what that sounds like is. I know it's something hit the side of my truck.
Right.
And, I don't know if they was, well, I'm pretty sure they was just trying to bait me outside.
Absolutely.
And, that is bad enough, but after you get it night after night, you start losing sleep, and you try to sleep during the day, or, you got to work or whatever. I turned down several jobs that I'd have to be coming home after dark, because I was like, nah, buddy, I'll work. And he was like, what? I said, yeah, man. He said, we work in 12s. I said, you can work all 12s you want. I'm taking my happy ass home. And so it's like 30 dudes on the crew, and I'd do my 8, and I'd go on home. And they was like, how comes he's leaving every day? I said, well, I'll quit or work where I'm working. You can make your mind up. And there for a long time, I wouldn't even go. Hell, I didn't go nowhere it was like dark. I was in the house, done with everything I needed to do, and till the next day. And I remember the first time I went over to the neighbor's house, and he had a little cookout. And it was getting dark, and I'm starting to, and I had a couple beers, and I'm like, well, I ain't had nothing going on in a while. I'll just, I'll stay a little bit. And I got my headlamp, pistol, big flashlight. I got like I don't know what that thing is, a 3,000 lumen, it'd light the world up, flashlight. And so I come on back in, and I started up on the porch, and I could hear the tree. I could hear when he jumped from one tree to the other. I could hear the tree, and I looked up with my headlamp, and I could see the tree moving, and I could hear it hit the other tree, and the other tree started shaking. And these are like 100-foot tall oaks, you'd take something big to shake an oak tree. And I was like, I didn't realize they was in the trees until then.
Right.
And after I found that out, I went straight the next morning. I went down there where the loggers hang out, the little country store. So he's busy, and the ones that didn't have anything to do or whatever, they got a crew and come down. They was like, "What do you want to do?" I said, "Cut them all down." They cut 68 log trees. That's a lot of trees. I didn't really want to cut them, but I left a few. But the ones I left aren't close enough to jump to another tree.
Right.
So I figured if nothing else, I got them in one tree. But
well, I tell you what, I'm gonna call you tomorrow. Did you see those pictures of those cars I sent you? I text you.
What kind of cars?
I'll send them to you again. This dude just got like 30 old cars, like in his fence blew down after the storm Ida, and he's just got like 30 cars, like old Corvettes, like old Jeeps. Like he got all kind. He got a Cutlass back there for sure. And I wanted you to look at it so I can figure out what I need to offer to do. We do a deal or something. Figure out we can make some money off them cars down here.
All right. Yeah, them Cutlasses are hot right now. Tell you what, you get one around Atlanta, Georgia, you about name your price. Yeah, they crazy about them things. They racing them, cruising them, putting big wheels on them. Yeah.
But it's all rusty though.
Georgia.
How much you somebody will buy it all rusty and beat up for them to restore it? You think they'll buy it like that?
Yeah, they posting pictures, happy they got them, missing fenders, 10 different colors, holes in them, no motor, and they proud of them. I was like, damn. Let me gather up some of them while the price is still going up, and you can buy them around here cheap because it's an old like that '84 Cutlass I got. It's an old grandma car. You know what an '84 Cutlass is.
Yeah, I remember '84 Cutlass.
And they don't care if it's V8 or not. I'm like, I sold that one. I bought two of them and made $1,000 and got the other one for free. And it's got 67,307 plain Jane '84 Cutlass. But it's they're bringing a couple $1,000 for a rough one.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do tomorrow morning. Instead of going to the gym and doing my cardio, I'm gonna go for my walk, and I'm gonna walk past there and go up. I ain't gonna go on the man's property, but I'm gonna go up to his fence and I'm gonna start snapping the pictures again and try and zoom in, and I'm gonna send them to you. And I'll call you tomorrow morning when I'm out there walking around.
All right, buddy. I'll let you go. I know you probably got somebody else trying to call in.
All right. Well, I'll catch up with you. Good talking to you, bro.
Okay, buddy.
All right, later. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is Connor. And the very first set of Dogman stories that were on the Dogman album, a lot of those stories were Connor's stories. A hell of a lot of those stories were Connor's stories. Connor, then he did an interview on Dogman Cams called Years of Dogman Encounters, which that's over there as well. Let's take this next call. Hey, this is Dark Waters. Who am I speaking to, and where you calling from?
What's up, Dark? This is Chase, man.
What's up, Chase? What's happening with you, baby?
Not too much, my man. Up here cruising through Houston, hoping not to get stuck in traffic.
Well, boy, you be moving around, man.
Yeah, I just left the border, man, down there in St. Juan.
How's it looking down there?
Man, dry as hell, man. Dry as hell.
I wish they could get some of this rain we got down there, because it's storming up here.
Yeah. I could definitely understand that, man. Especially that area's been raining a lot lately over there your way, hasn't it?
Yep. All day today.
Yeah, right on.
And last night it was flooding in the streets.
Man, I hate that junk because you can't never go outside. You just like, what, screw this, man. I'm going to sit here on the computer or something.
No, I can go outside. I just gotta take off my shoes and make sure I got shorts on and walk in water that's knee deep. But that's a part of living down here. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah,
can't be
I
no
mean, all
punk
the
living down here.
all the shit y'all got, man. I don't even know, man. Walking in the water ain't no telling, man. Y'all got some wild shit down there in the bayous and shit.
That's where I live, baby. What's on your mind tonight, though?
Hey, man, I was hearing Connor's story. That's pretty interesting, man. When he was talking about the coyotes, man, I was sitting there thinking, because I'm in agreement with you on how they'll run them packs of coyotes and stuff. But I was thinking if those coyotes were sitting there watching his yard, he already said he had a feeling. I wonder if those coyotes were watching him, keeping an eye on, like reporting his movement. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get a pattern down on him. He didn't report back or something, man. I mean, it sounds crazy, but it could be possible.
No, it don't sound crazy to me at all. It doesn't sound crazy to me at all because I talked to witnesses who've seen coyotes on their property. There was one guy who shot a coyote, and after he shot the coyote, 2 days later, he didn't kill it. He wounded it. 2 days later, Dogman showed up, and so I think,
Yeah,
and this is what you got to understand about Connor. Connor's a very resourceful, smart guy, but he's a smart outdoorsman, and he's got like some of the best instincts of anybody that I've talked to. And so when he starts saying, "Man, I think this might be what's going on," because he said it over and over in private. Man, I
yeah,
think they'd be up in the trees. I think this, and then eventually it all plays out to be true. It's just it takes time for everything to unfold. And Chase, that's the thing with like true encounters. That's why like some of my encounters, like some dog man encounters, I'm still talking to people about because I want to make sure they're safe and everything is over before I communicate that encounter. But a lot of people I'm still in constant communication with because we're picking up on small things as the conversations go. Like the dung piles, what's in the dung piles. I didn't ask Connor what he saw in there because, again, I don't want to put that out right here. And then people, next thing you know, they got 20 creepy pastas with, oh, this was in the poop pile. It was. I'm not even gonna say it because they like to steal my stuff.
yeah,
But
yeah,
it's a process. It's not a one conversation, a one-off conversation. It's only a one-off conversation if you don't give a damn about the person and you're only interested in that portion of the story. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Hot pockets. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
But
you got it.
yeah, yeah. But so another thing I was thinking that was interesting. Would it be possible, because you were talking about those groups, I know you don't want to like go into it too much, but would you think that, Jeff's buddy, Victor, you think that maybe those are some of his old groups or is a whole other entity?
I haven't really listened to the stuff from Victor. I listened to one episode from Victor.
Yeah.
What I can say is
Okay.
these are special op teams. These are special operations teams. So I don't know if
Yeah.
that's what he claims to work with, but these are special operation teams.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you had caught up with the whole thing, I don't know. I'm pretty convinced. Jeff seems like he's on it. He don't even give a damn what people say because he's convinced. I guess that dude might have sent him a lot of stuff that gave him no doubt in his mind, kind of thing. So, but okay, another thing. Check this out. What do you think about this? So when people die, they leave. So that's how we see spirits or whatever. Like somebody may die in a traumatic way or whatever, or such such. So we see what people call ghosts or spirits or whatever, and they're always reenacting like old Civil War people reenact ghosts reenacting Civil War areas. Do you think that energy source that creates that type of the spirit or that energy to come forth in that manner? It looks just like them. Sometimes they talk the whole 9 yards. People even talk about how real they look. Like this man was standing in front of me and then he was vanished. Right? Do you think that same type of energy force could happen with Dogman? And because I'm saying this because there's even Bigfoots or whatever. Because there's stories people talk about where it's like, it almost looked like a vapor coming off of his back or whatever. And I'm kind of wondering, like, dude, if they give off that same energy force, maybe possible, maybe like, a dog man just say it like this, dog man ghost or whatever, or Sasquatch ghost or whatever, that energy left an imprint in that area, in that environment. You think that's possible?
I think anything is possible when we start talking about the paranormal realm. Um, and I've touched on, you can kind of call it the metaphysical aspect of it. And I'm just gonna say it again. I was one of the very first people to really get into it. It happened on a stream with me, on a round table with me, Tony Merkel, Wes Garmer, and I can't remember the other guy's name, who's an author. And I went into it on that. I definitely think it's a possibility, beyond a possibility. I think it's part of what happens. I just don't completely understand it yet, and that's why I don't
Yeah.
really dive into it because there's no way of understanding that. Um, I've been able to discern and come to the conclusion that people who obsess over these things tend to summon like demonic metaphysical manifestations of them, just like Blanco was talking about the other night on the live stream, where he talked about how he stopped reading the Bible and started studying Dogman. Next thing you know, he saw one at the threshold of his garage. And there's been plenty of people who told me
Yeah.
that, but I just, there's no way of me really truly getting to the bottom of that. So that's one of those on my 4 lane highway. That's like the fast lane, in my opinion. And there's no speed limit in that lane, and we gotta talk to more people to figure it out.
Yeah, I would, dude. After he said that, man, bro, I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I had to change gears, so I had to make sure I balanced it because I did the same thing because I had started looking at the two as okay, now how can I match this to the Bible? And then when I was able to link it all, because I wanted to know for myself, and I wasn't really sure about what everybody was saying, so I had to prove this to myself. So I spent a lot of time. That's what got me on this track was studying how does this link with the scriptures because if it don't line up with the scriptures, I don't want to hear about it really. And it got to a point where I've been just that's all I dig into now, and that's like a lot of the podcast things I listen to is this right here because A, yeah, it gets my attention, but B, it's for me it's like a lot of research and just preparing because I feel like something's coming, so I want to be ready for this, right? So when the Book of Eli moment comes, or like the movie, when that time comes, I want to be ready, either mentally, physically, or whatever. Is that gonna happen? I don't know. I think it's possible. Who knows, man? Shit's ramping up, but that's kind of where I got onto the track. So after that, man, after that day, a lot of stuff happened to me where I'm like, dude, I'm done. I gotta really balance this out, and I've been doing that. I've been balancing it back out, man, because I feel like a lot of stuff came down on me due to stuff I was doing when you know what I mean? I just shouldn't have been doing it. I was doing it, so I had to take some responsibility on that one. Um, I said, oh, man, you talk about Tony Merkel. Yo, your boy Tony, man. Yo, when you gonna listen to his after members only stuff and whatnot, bro, that man be touching. He be having some interviews with some people that's crazy. When he started talking
Yep.
about the MK Ultra and all this stuff, bro, he's doing stuff ain't nobody really dealing with.
Yep.
And I'm like, yo, and the stuff that's happening to them while they're doing this, they're shutting their systems down, they're switching stuff up. Bro, these are things that like, yo, he's got, I'm gonna say he's got some balls, but
I don't
he's
want
fucking
them.
around, man.
I love him.
Dude,
I love him to death, bro. I done told his ass. Like, the last time we talked, he was in his car headed back home, and he was like, "Yeah, I was gonna go." He was like, "I was gonna meet with this person that was on a Clinton body bag list." And I said, "Tony, let me tell you some stuff." And I was like, "I'm gonna tell you some stuff I never told anybody about what I used to do when I was a consultant." And so I started telling him. He was
yeah,
like, "What? Holy shit!" I was like, "Tony." I was like, "I don't," I said, "Man, you pushing the envelope, bro." And Tony's reply is, "Man, I want to know." That's who he is. Like, that's who
yeah,
he is as a person. That dude wants to know the truth. And so he's like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do it." So that's like when he was trying to go look for the mothers of darkness. Hopefully, I talked him out of that because that was so wild. When I started reaching out to people like who really knew about the mothers of darkness, every last one of them said the exact same thing. Your friend is fucking crazy. They will kill him, and they will come over
yeah,
here and they will kill his family. And Tony, I call him in the middle of the night, Tony. This is what they told me, bro. They said not only will they kill you, but these people they will kill you and they will eat you, and they will kill your family. And he's on the phone. He's like,
brother.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna go and see anyway. I'm like, all right, Tony, bro, I love you, man. Just give your wife my number if she needs something, because I'm not gonna talk you out of it. You're not gonna talk him out of it. Tony's a beast, man. He really is a beast. I'm so
And
happy that he's in the industry, and he's a good dude. Like, he really is a good guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not
yeah,
with none of the bullshit, none of the politics, none of the this side, that side. He's really a good person. I love Tony.
yeah, he seems it for sure. Yeah, that dude's on some next level stuff. I just, a little worried about him, but I don't know. Like when you said the mothers of darkness stuff, bro, and you said that, I'm like, you know what? I'm not even gonna go digging and researching
Don't
that.
don't
Like
don't
I
fuck
just
with that.
backed off. Yeah, I didn't. I did. Like something in my gut was like, yo, don't even research that. So
Dude, I'm gonna
like
tell
I
you
was
like
like, no, I'm
this.
good.
When I called to start asking questions about them, the first two people I called, the first thing they said was, "How did you hear about them?" And I started
Wow.
explaining, and leave that shit alone. I mean, both of them. One said, "Leave that alone. That's a bad idea." The other one said, "Leave that shit alone. Leave it alone. Leave it alone." And if you
Yeah.
go back and you
Oh
read,
yeah.
if you look up when Donald Trump was president, there was this talk about like witches casting spells on him, and it was the daughters of darkness. You can look it up. There was literal articles about the daughters of darkness were casting spells on President Donald Trump. Like, it was, and that's all a click. We talking about old world, real deal magic. We ain't
Yeah.
talking about no. We talking about the shit they make movies about. We ain't talking about no somebody with a little bullshit Ouija board and a couple of little herbs and spices. We talking about real deal, like, fight against the Vatican witches, like the real deal, like a war, like a. I don't even, I put it to you like this: there is a war that's been going on for a very long time. Oh, and
Yeah.
they decided they was gonna go
You
mess over a whole bunch of broads back in the day, and
so do
them broads
you
said, "We gonna mess you over."
dude, do you so you telling I mean, would you well all right, so what I'm catching from a lot of that is like did Trump really like screw up their plans like that for real, or is that just something because or was he part of it? Like, is he, what I'm saying? He like one of these dudes that's just in on it, and it's just a dog and pony show that we're watching.
Let me see. The best way to answer that question is, let's go back through every president that you've known of in the history of the United States. Um, there was one that talked about the Federal Reserve that got his head bust
Yeah.
wide open on a grassy
Yeah.
knoll. There was another one
Right. Right.
whose ancestor, the Booth, he killed him, and his great ancestor,
Hmm.
Booth's great ancestor, is still on TV today and still in the federal government. He was on TV threatening the president you're talking about, Donald Trump. So I think
Yeah. Yeah. I know about
when
that.
you start talking about globalists versus which there is a definite globalist force versus American nationalist forces, that's another real
Yeah.
war that's going on. So I would say it this way: there's a war going on. It's like out in the open now, and you can see it,
Yeah.
um, and you see it even more now because of what's going on around you. So if you understand that
Yeah.
there's a war, then you can decide, who's
I
what
got you.
side is what side. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can see it
I
clearly
got you.
that there's a war going on. Now,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
side takes control and what they do once they get control, you're only going to be able to tell. Well, we kind of see what's going on right now once one side got control, but the other side would have to get clear control to see what their true intentions are. But I know what I'm seeing right now. I ain't really feeling, so I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. So the only reason why I asked because I was curious. So at first I was like under the impression, okay, maybe it was a disruption, but then it's like, yo, like if like I study a lot of symbolisms and stuff, and kind of, obviously, like there's a lot of links people don't really understand between the secret societies and whatnot, and you can call them all what you want, but they all have a lot of traits that's very similar. Like let's just use Freemasons. Freemasons
I prefer we not
and
go into that. I really would
my
prefer
bad, my
we
bad.
not
Okay,
go
okay,
into
no
that.
problem. No problem. No problem. All right, we good. No,
That
I
is
got you,
a
brother.
that's an atomic bomb to step on. Like most people just
All right, yeah, yeah.
you never know who's a mason that you're talking to. Number one, number two, it's an atomic bomb to step on because most people who talk about masonry have no clue what the hell is going on with it. They have no
I
clue
got
the sex, the how it's used to recruit, how people are moved from one spot. They have no fucking clue. That's why you never hear
you.
me
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about
They're
it
not even emotional.
because if you've never
Yeah,
been involved in something like that, then you have no clue how the true power of it. I know the power of
yeah,
it, and that's why you won't be hearing me
yeah.
talking about that shit.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard you make comments before, so I kind of I put two and two together. But
Hmm.
definitely, I get what you're saying, man. There's certain things you can't do. I bet it up, man. Well, listen, man, it was a good conversation, man, and dude, it's a great show, and I was definitely glad to have Connor on. And you deserve a freaking a funeral home full of flowers, because you are the OG of this industry with no doubt. And also, man, big shout out to Vault, man. Vault's the dude. Like that man got a good heart, dude. And hey, that's all I gotta say, man.
All right, brother. Well, I love you and I appreciate you, man. I look forward to talking to you again.
Yes,
Be
sir.
safe now.
Absolutely. One love, man.
All right, later, guys. I'm not. I'm telling you, I'm not getting baited into going into that. I'm not going into that subject, man. That's a. Oh Lord, what's going on here? Sorry, guys. Let's see. Hey, this is Dark Waters. Who am I speaking to, and where are you calling me from?
You know me, sir. It's Mr. Eric Blanco from California.
What up, EB? What's happening, baby?
Yeah, man. I got to speaking with a couple of the people that I had that experience at that house. Yeah,
Right.
like I was in the chat at Bolt's channel talking about it. Like, but I know he wants to make a whole show of it of the whole Wendigo thing. But like that kind of it was reminded to me. It was almost like um I like that was the same thing that the guy was saying. It's like when you manifest something, especially because you want to go into all the research. I went down that road as well, and I feel like I had like an encounter. I'm talking about in the middle of the city. Like there's no woods where I was living, and it doesn't matter where you are in if you're in the woods or if you're in the city. I mean, it's a real thing. I experienced in my life that in particular. Now the account is that we were coming home. I had this blue van, and we were I just pulled into the driveway and I opened my door and about 3 feet away I see this like shaggy, mangy looking dog. Now we had a pet, we had a dog, so I walked down that neighborhood hundreds of times. I mean, twice a day. Never did I see that dog. And I remember one of the first things that my ex at the time said that was very particular. She said that it looked like the dog was wearing high heels. Now, obviously, it had a weird gallop to it,
Wait.
and that's
What?
why.
Wait, hold on. You said like I was wearing high heels.
Yeah. So the dog, it looked mangy. It looked kind of like an Irish wolfhound type, but it was brown and like
Wait, who
the
told you
hair.
this?
This is the same person that I had the encounter with inside of that garage with that
Oh, okay, all right. I'm on the same page with you. Go
whatever
ahead. All right.
style thing that I saw. Yeah. And so yeah, I called her like about 2 days ago, and we talked about it. And I just wanted to refresh to make sure that I didn't just speak out of my butt and not tell the account correctly in her and and her point of view. And she said no. I sent her the link so she could hear the show, and she's like, no, you said it correctly. And then she reminded me of that part. Um, Now, I just immediately like I had like a weird chill when she told it to me. I was like, oh my god, yeah, that did happen. So when I
Wait.
opened the door,
Pause for
like I
me,
said,
Blanco. Hold on. Let's start this all over because I'm the high heel
okay,
shit is still stuck in my head. When she said
okay,
looked like it was wearing high heels, she mean like
yeah.
fucking heels, or does she mean like the way its feet were? Because you can't
You
be
know
sitting there
what?
telling me that Dogman running around with the motherfucking high heels on.
No, for sure I'm not. But this dog was definitely on all fours. I mean, it looked like a mangy mutt. Like it didn't even look like to me to say a wolf, you know. And when as it's walking away, that's that was the comment that you gave. I mean, I'm assuming that she's
Oh, so
talking
she
about
meant
the
like
mechanics.
walking on its toes, like a woman. I gotta talk to her.
Yeah,
Unless she's
yeah,
mean like it's walking on the tips of its toes, like a woman
something
walking.
like
Because you know when a woman wears them sexy ass high heels, you know that makes them walk on their toes. What they find, I love me some fine, sexy women. Boy, I swear to God, that was
that.
the best thing he ever made on this planet. Women and water,
I
the two
agree.
things we need.
I agree, sir.
Oh my God,
I
let me
had
stop acting
also
stupid. Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
no, that's okay. I had I I also had a relative. He passed away a couple of years back, but we used to take a trip. You know, when you go, I used to work like on his way, so he used to give me a ride every day to work. This is I lived in Connecticut for about 5 years. He was a born and raised Guatemalan. You know, those old like stubborn, you know, don't really do any nonsense type of person. And he told me about a story. I don't know if you ever heard what a cadejo is.
No, I sound like a curse word.
Well, no, cadejo is the name of a cryptid that is in in Guatemala. Is where I heard the story. It's about these dogs. Now, apparently, when people get drunk at the bar, you know, and in Guatemala, they just kind of drag them out to the curb. They don't leave them inside of the building. You know, they're like, "Yo, you drunk? You stay drunk? Well, we put you outside." So apparently, this is a huge white dog is what they call it. Because I'm not sure if we have wolves in Guatemala, but the white dog with red eyes. And this dog actually would come to these inebriated people and pick them up and take them home. And the creature apparently had the power of speech, like it would talk to the people. Okay, you know, here you go, here's your house, and it's almost like it knew exactly where the person lived or something. Now that's the story that I get, and then there's another side to that story where it has like a another side to the coin where there's a black dog with red eyes. That one is not as helpful to the human race as the first one. That one apparently appears as a small dog,
Hmm.
and as you look back, it turns into a humongous dog with red eyes. So it obviously I feel like it's more like a spiritual thing, not necessarily like a I'm not sure. Like the story kind of is vague in a sense, but this uncle of mine that passed away, he actually had a story where to walk to his factory in Guatemala, to walk to his factory, um, he would have to go, early morning and late night. So every time he had to cross a little patch of woods just to get faster to the point of that factory. And one day he said he saw a small black dog behind him, and he's like, all right, it's all right. It's all right. So it's a small dog. So he just keeps walking, and he looks back, and it was gone. He's like, all right. Not there anymore. He's walking, and he says he started hearing like something breathing. So he looks back again, and now he saw the big dog. And he said he picked up a rock because that's all he had at the time. So he said he picked up a rock, and he's like, oh, like he felt need to defend himself, is what he said. But he said he didn't run. He said he picked up the rock, he looked back at it, and he just started walking. And he started walking. He kept his gaze on it, but it was almost like a sidestep, like he had the rock in his hand closest to the thing, and he's just like, So when he got to the factory, he said that the minute that he went into the factory, looked back, that thing was gone. And he said he never did that afterwards. He told his boss, look, you want me to work for you? I'm going to do it in the daytime. I'll stay late, but I'm getting picked up by somebody, like apparently his, the brother-in-law at the time, he would come and pick him up in this old rusted, truck. and because not a lot of people have vehicles in Guatemala, especially not where the area that I'm from, you know. But yeah, it was something that I know for a fact that this guy never told me anything kind of paranormal. I believe that he didn't even believe in ghosts. He didn't have that, you know. He had that old world way of thinking where you're like, if I don't see it, I don't believe it, like, you know. And that story stayed with me. Um, you know, a part of with everything that I told you that I started investigating the Dogman stuff. It really, I really feel like if it doesn't have like everything to do with that misting that the guy previous was talking about when it walks by and you see this like smoke. I feel like if you tell a villager, hey, what did you see? And they see a big black dog with red eyes. I mean, even if it's a goddamn wolf, they're gonna be like, oh, it's un perro, you know, it's a dog. So it's an interesting story. I just wanted to share it with you guys. It's just a lot of things that I have in my mind that I feel like I have to like how you say I have to file it and search, and I'm like, oh yeah, you know what? Let me write this down. Let me put this together. Um, I also sent you a couple things. I sent you a lot of the pictures that I saw, like things that I've taken pictures up in the sky. I don't know what the hell is up with me, but even people that have been like with me have had experiences that are not necessarily like like ooh that really big, but I've had accounts with so many people that the like my cousin, my cousin's husband. We both saw something, UFO based, like things in the sky. But it's just like I feel like I've been called to this field since I was young, and since I started seeing, like I did the same thing as everyone else when they get into the topic. They try to watch everybody, and try to absorb everybody. But like you said, you have proven with his story, with this man's story about the property where he brings down the trees. You've proven that not only are the stories real that you put out, I'm glad that he called it and he gave his recollection, because it gave so much solidity to the actual story. Like you're actually hearing the guy that went through all that, like, and you can tell by his voice that he literally just had enough with this. So it's like it was amazing. I definitely want to start doing some form of research out here in California. I've heard so many stories. I live in the Lancaster area. I've heard things on Joshua Tree, Fresno, like
Well, let me say this. Let me say this, Blanco. Let me say this. I think I'll tell you where there is a gap in this field, and a gap that you can fill in if you would like to, and I'll be happy to help you fill it. So there's
yeah,
a
you
gap
can.
where, for example, I can find witnesses that are south of the border, American border, but I can't communicate with them. The
Okay.
gap is when you look for paranormal evidence and you look up like um, you know s- uh, anything from south of the border where they have paranormal like talk shows about uh, dogman, werewolves, strange things. There's no real
Yeah.
English. Nobody converts that from whatever language it is down there to English and presents it to the American audience. It's just focused on that audience down there. That is a huge market. That's a huge niche market that hasn't been exploited. Meaning the language barrier, just being able to cross that language barrier and communicate across that language barrier and bring those stories from there and relay them here is it's like a fucking golden nugget that nobody's touching. And I saw
That
that like years ago. I was looking at, I was like, man, if I could speak if my black ass could speak some other languages, if I would have remembered Spanish from high school, or if I was,
yeah.
dating abroad that spoke a different language, which I love my woman. I don't want to date nobody else because she's so sexy. But
Mhm.
nonetheless, I mean, that is a huge, huge opportunity. And it will be a space that is all yours. There is no one else in that space. And that's how you
I
build the brand. You want to find a space, a niche. That's why there's so much fighting over the dogman niche. You know what I'm saying? Think about it.
Yeah.
There was Vic Cundiff, Brenton Salwin, Linda Godfrey
Yeah.
wasn't a YouTube. She never really was on YouTube. Then I
No, she
came.
just wrote the book.
She just wrote the book. So then when I came, um, I remember talking to Brenton. Brenton was like, "Hey man, I'm gonna help you get started. Boom, 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 boom. I'm gonna help you do this." And I'm like, I don't really do that. I'm gonna go do my own shit because that's just how I am. Um,
Mm,
and so you have this competition going for this genre of Dogman, right? And then Bigfoot has a hell of a lot more competition. Then you got
oh
creepypasta,
no, yeah.
a bucket with a competition for creepypasta, right? Um,
Nah.
Jeff Nataloni came up and he was starting his Dogman. Then he got attacked and everybody was trying to run him off. I was like, y'all leave that man the fuck alone. That's when the whole Victor thing came out. And I was like, look, if you bitches could talk about puppy ass Dogman on this channel, that man can talk about Victor. Stop. And then Josh Turner comes through, which he had been around for a while. And then Josh has to go on his own thing. It's highly competitive because it's a niche market. You can have a niche all to
Mm,
your own if you do it. Anyone can have that niche all on their own if they do it. I
yeah.
suggest you, based on your storytelling ability and your personality, you need to occupy that niche. That's just my advice.
Yeah, sir. I definitely could. I have the. I was born here, but I was raised in Guatemala. The last time I was there, I was 15. I have perfect Spanish. I can actually, for some odd reason, I have the ability to talk like different ethnicities. I mean, different cultures, and I'm like Mexican, and Salvadorians. All for because I worked in the construction industry, especially here in California. You get to be with everybody, and I have the privilege of having perfect Spanish. So I am interested in this. I don't want to just let it be all the stuff that I've lived through up to this point. Like I said, I should have been something. Something should have been messed up, and I feel like I owe it to myself. I owe it to people that maybe have been victims of said things to maybe just bring it out to light. I'm gonna get on it, dude. I definitely want to get those stories out. I can translate it in Spanish, from Spanish to English, and I'll make these people's story be heard.
I'm telling you, bro, it's a huge niche market. But I'm gonna let you go, Blanco. I'm gonna take this next call because there's 443 numbers called like 20 times, and I don't want to
Let
catch
it
them.
handle. Thank you very much. I appreciate you giving me time.
All right, brother. Good talking to you.
All right, bye.
Hey, I caught you. This is Dark Waters. What's your name and where you calling from? Sorry, I had to have you calling so many times.
Hey, Dark. Hey, hold on. Give me 1 second, right quick. I'm sorry. I'm getting over a little bit of sickness. I don't know if I caught the COVID or whatever. I didn't go to the doctor to verify it. I think it was the chest cold. But anyway, this is Brandon from Salisbury, Maryland again. Talked to you a couple days ago.
What's up, V?
Um, what's up, man? It's good to hear your voice.
Good to hear your voice too. What
Just
you got on your mind, baby?
All right, yeah. Yeah, so we talked about the whole debacle of the my little trail of as far as like me seeing Bigfoot and stuff like that, but I wanted to talk about some other things that I had seen. Um and shout out to the brother that just was on with his experiences and stuff like that. Hopefully he figures everything out and everything like that and every from before. Like I said, man, like I love everybody and like this is a beautiful experience to be able to talk to people. I'm a little bit not nervous as before, so you know what I mean. If my voice sounds a little bit different, I'm just like feeling more in my element. But yeah. So when I was 14 years old, I'm 32 right now. When I was 14 years old, I was going through. This isn't really about cryptid. This is more of a spiritual aspect. So shout out to Lakea. Maybe she could say something about this or whatever. I don't know, but I was going through a very difficult time in my life as far as um not trying to hold your time too long, but like I didn't like really have like dad growing up. I mean, he was there, but when I was like 8, 9 years old, like my mom and dad had a separation. I'll tell you more about that on some personal level. Like I seen a lot of like crazy stuff. He wasn't abusive to me or anything like that, but to my mom, yeah. So she got out of that situation, and we ended up moving to a place on the east side where I'm from, and I was living with my grandma at the time. And one of the things that I seen when I was a little kid was that I was inside of the bathtub, and I was playing with my GI Joes. I don't know if people remember the GI Joes and stuff like that. Like, you know, you would have all your action figures and inside the tub and stuff like that, and you know, play with them and you know, like do wrestling moves and stuff like that. I seen a light orb jump over my leg. It came out of the water without a splash and went inside of the water without a splash. And I never knew what that meant, but as I got older and as I still remember, something's telling me that that was kind of like maybe ancestors or like my spirit guides or something like that, like saying like, hey, we see you, we're here, got you, you're straight. Because it wasn't nothing scary or nothing like that. It just was like sorry, like I said, I'm still getting over this sickness.
That's not good, bro.
But yeah. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Hey, hold
yeah,
on. You gotta cough all that shit up out your chest, man. You can't just be like you gotta and get that shit out you, man. What you doing? You can't just
no. Like I literally like if I could FaceTime you right now, like I would show you like literally what I have beside me. I have a spit jar or a spit cup.
okay.
It's like
Get that
16
shit out your
ounces.
body, dude. Don't be
Yeah,
holding
man.
that.
Like, bro, like it's like 16 ounces. I almost got the whole thing filled up. Like, I'm literally, I don't have no pain. Like no nothing. You know, it's just like the background remnants of you know like all the mucus is coming up. So I'm good. I'm good. All the mucus is coming up. I'm good.
You
But
have you ever heard of chaga tea?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. The mushroom. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
use to make sure there's because it pulls all that phlegm out of you.
Yes,
And
sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
okay,
sir.
good deal.
I don't know if you know about Dr. Sabi, but yeah, that's basically what all sickness is. It's mucus on the cells. So
Exactly.
I
Okay, so you
definitely
want it.
understand what
You
you're.
ain't gonna die on me. You know what's up. All right, go ahead.
Yeah,
Finish your
yeah,
story.
nah, man, I got you, bro. I
Okay,
got
I was
you.
just
Like,
making
yeah,
sure.
I
All right,
got
we
it.
good.
Okay. So okay, yeah. So when I was 14 years old, I was going through like a really dark period in my life as far as because I didn't feel like nobody was listening to me like just uh what would you call it?
That's
Just being
puberty.
misunderstood.
That's the end of puberty coming off of a separation, which is very very difficult for any child. So yeah, I gotta understand where you
Yes,
were.
sir. Yes, sir. And my mom had just got with another man, which was my stepfather at the time. And he was very nice to me in the beginning. Like everything was cool. You know what I mean? He was very nice to me. Like we would wrestle, we do all the stuff and like, try to teach him how to be a man and stuff like that. Like, all the stuff that a young man needs. But I guess that he was dealing with his own personal stuff, and that actually started to show through because I think that he was jealous of me and my mom's relationship as far as like how we were together. And because that's all I knew, you know. So he had a previous wife and a previous engagement with within this house that he ended up breaking off and stuff like that. And he ended up meeting my mom, and my mom just didn't jump in it. She's not gullible. She's not stupid. You know what I mean? Like, she took her time, whatever. But she confided in this man, and he confided in her, and whoop whoop. It ended up happening like that. They got together. So it got to be where I started. Okay, all right. Let me slow it down. I'm sorry.
Well, hold on.
And
Let
I'm
me
sorry
let
for
me
all the
address something
listeners.
while you get that thought together. Let me address something. Pause for a second, guys.
Yes, sir.
To the new people who don't know what the fuck I do and how I do it, who come in like whoever this dude is talking about, let's get to talking werewolves, dog. The reason why y'all get the best stories from me is because I talk to everybody about everything. That's why
Mhm.
you get the best stories. So if you fucking want to hear about some motherfucking werewolves, rewind. There was a guy Connor talked about werewolves for a fucking hour. Rewind and start there. Go ahead, B. Some people be pissing me off. Go ahead.
No, and people. Excuse me. Let me say this right quick. To anybody that's tried, oh God, my God, I wish I wasn't coughing. To anybody that's trying to disrespect Dark Waters, no, you got to understand this man's heart. This man has a real good heart. This man is really just trying to express information that a lot of people that are trying to express information they're scared to do. So give this man time. So all that bullshit, we don't need none of that. This is just for the real ones. This for the real ones. So literally, I was when I was 14, I was going through a lot of stuff, and I would always I used to live in a neighborhood called Kilburn. This is in Salisbury, Maryland. I was telling you about. We
Right.
have a park, and excuse me. We have a park. God, something don't want me to. Something don't want me. Something is trying to stop. Something is trying to stop me from telling you this because I haven't. I don't know why I'm coughing so much. Something's trying to stop me from telling you this. Anyway, we have a park in this neighborhood. The park, we have we have a basketball court. We have a the swing set, all that kind of stuff. I did. Excuse me. We were wild when we was young. I did a lot of stuff in that court. That was the same court that I was telling you about, the tennis court where I seen the UFO that pooped or whatever. But
Right.
within that court, um, we would go there to smoke. So I was out there one time. I was by myself. I took my mountain bike because I at that time my mom was making some good money, and like I said, she just got married to my stepfather, so we was living in the suburbs. Like, I wasn't in the hood or nothing like that. No, like I'm totally around white people. You know what I mean? And but I mean it was great. I had all my friends and stuff like that. But no, like this one night, I just was feeling I don't know, like I just was feeling like just out of it, And so I went and I was smoking by myself, and my mom called me and she said, "Brandon, can you come to church with me?" And I said, "No, like I don't want to go to church. Like I'm not with this. Like nah, I'm good." She's like, "No, like Brandon, like please, like I found this new church. This is in Cambridge, Maryland. I don't know if you know about Cambridge, but anybody that's listening right now, you can look it up, Cambridge, Maryland. Cambridge, Maryland, their church there." And she's like, like, "No, like come, like I met a new pastor, prophet. Well, he wasn't a pastor, he was a prophet. And his name was Prophet John." And she's like, like I really feel, like this would be good for you, like, like come and just come to church with me. I'm like, "No, I don't want to come to church." She's like, "Brandon, please come to church with me." I'm like, she doesn't know that I'm high as hell right now. Like I'm 14. Like I just got done smoking. I'm like, okay, my like she because I was on a cell phone. If people trying to correlate the story, I was on a cell phone. So I'm like, okay, mom, I'll come to church. So I rode my bike back home to meet her. She came and meet me, or came and met me. I went to church. She didn't really know that I was high or nothing like that because I wasn't like that high, but a little bit of weed.
You was lit.
So
You wasn't over the top. I got you.
yeah, I wasn't like, I wasn't like smacked up my mind. Like I was regular. So, I was like, I just folded. I mean, because that's my mom. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna disrespect mom. Like that's my mom. Like that's all I know. So like I folded. I'm like, yeah, okay, all right, I'll go. This is what you want? Because she was literally begging me. I'm like, all right, so if this is what you want, I'll do it. Boom. So we went, boom, we went to Cambridge. It's like a 30-minute drive from where we lived. 45-minute drive. So we got down there. I'm in the last pew because, churches, they have pews, you know what I mean, that people sit in. So I'm in the last pew. Like, I didn't want to be nowhere, like, near it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, look, I'm high. I don't want people to be looking at me. I know my eyes is probably red. Like, this is, like, I didn't have a high tolerance back then. I'm only 14. You know what I mean? Like, so it's not like now, like, if I smoke weed, I can go out and do anything. Like, I didn't have a high tolerance. So I'm like, if people looking at me crazy, you know what I mean? So the dude, he's preaching a sermon. He gets done with his sermon. I think this was a Wednesday, so it really even wasn't like a Sunday sermon. It was like a Bible study night. But he was preaching a sermon, or if not Wednesday, it was Tuesday. But he was preaching a sermon. He got done with the junk, and he looks at me. And when he looks at me, his eyes changed. His eyes changed like from like regular, like how we look, like our eyes with our brown pupils, like it kind of like went, like his eyes kind of like went white a little bit, like it not white, but like kind of like a film went over it. I'm looking right at him, and he's looking right at me, and like a film went over it, and he says, "You, come here." I'm like, "Fuck." I didn't say it out loud, of course, but this is what I'm thinking in my mind. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, you come here. I'm like, he's not talking to me, because like I look behind me. I'm like, there's nobody behind me because I'm in the last pew. So I'm like, he has to be talking to me. And my mom, she's sitting a couple of pews ahead. She looks at me and she's like, go, like go ahead. I'm like, okay. So I walk up. He says, and I never told nobody this. My mom knew, and I'll send you pictures, Dark. I'll send you pictures if you want them, because I still have them to this day. To this day, I still have them. He said, you see demons inside of your closet. And I'm like, because at that time when I was 14, when I was going through all this stuff, I was seeing, whenever I was going to sleep, I was seeing dark shadows in my closet with red eyes. And they would like scratch my back, and it was 3 claw marks. It was always 3 claw marks, not 4, not 5, not 2, not 1. No, it was 3 claw marks scratching my back. And I would tell my mom, and she didn't believe me. She didn't believe me until that's what I'm saying. Until I swear to God on my soul, I will wake my mom up right now. I swear to God on my soul. I had got out the shower to go to school, and she had went in like just to do her makeup. So I had my towel on, I wasn't exposed or nothing like that. It was quick. I'm my mom's child, so she's not worried about that no way. But I wasn't exposed. She just happened to look at my back, and she's like, "Where you get these scars from?" And I'm like, "Mom, I'm telling you something." Because I thought it was, because remember I told you that my stepfather, me and him did not get along at all. But he wasn't physically abusing me or nothing like that. It just was verbal. Like, just telling me I ain't shit and I ain't, this verbal stuff. So I literally thought it was him. But how our house was set up, we had a hallway. In the hallway, it was wood floors. And the wood floors had creaks. So if he would walk, I would hear it, because that's how the bathroom was. The bathroom was right in the middle, right? Like right in the middle in the back, and then my room was to the left, and then the master bedroom was to the right of that bathroom. So if he would have walked across or walked in my room, I would have heard it. It got so bad of me feeling these scratches that I would sleep with a nightlight on, and I would lock my door. So I know nobody was coming into my room. And I would feel it, and I would wake up, like, immediately. I used to read Goosebump books with the little light, like the little goosebump books. Like I don't know if you
Yeah, I
remember,
remember
if
those
anybody
books.
remember. Yeah, they used to come with like a little light that you could put on. I used to put that joint on because I used to be scared. I used to be scared, like terrified, and nobody believed me. My mom seen the joint. That's what I'm saying. She seen the joint. That's what I'm saying. Like I think this is what led up to her telling me to come to church. So, like I said, the dude, he didn't know none of this. The prophet didn't know none of this. My mom didn't tell him, oh, my son is being tormented by whatever he's, imagining or whatever he's. He didn't know none of this. He looked at me and said, you're seeing demons in your closet. And I'm like, yeah, I am. Like, he's like, okay, no more. And he took out olive oil and blessed the olive oil, put the cross on my third eye. I've never felt the Holy Spirit before. And like I said, I might not be Christian, but I know that it's real. I know that something, the energy is real, because I felt it. I fucking started convulsing. I started convulsing inside of the church to get that spirit off me. Is it all the way gone? No. I still feel it still trying to creep. Still trying to creep. I but I also know that my ancestors and my other spiritual beings are around me. The ones that love me are around me. But it's real. So for people who are trying to like bad talk, dark or anything, this is from somebody who really lived it. I had the scars on my back to this day. To this day, I have the scars on my back. 3 claw marks. I don't know what the fuck it was. My mom seen a bat. My mom, she was asleep. She thought she seen a bat fly through her room. She was so scared, she called my stepfather at the time. He was working at ECI, Eastern Correctional Institution. It's a jail. He had to come all the way home because she was so scared. She was like, I swear to God, Jerry, his name is Jerry. I swear to God, I seen a bat flying through all the... It was nothing around. But what we learned was that his wife practiced hoodoo.
I was getting ready to tell you that's what was going on. I was literally
His
getting ready to
wife
tell you.
practiced hoodoo. I know. They put that shit on us, bro. And I'm still dealing with this crap to this day. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it, Dart.
Well, I'll tell you
Cause my
what.
heart, bro, like I'm a good dude, bro. Like I'm a good dude, bro.
Well, take a
I'm a good
moment, take a
dude,
deep
bro.
breath. Take a deep breath for a second. Take a deep breath for me. I'm gonna share something with you. So I'm gonna see what I can do to help you. Even though I said I don't like doing this because it ends up bouncing around and hurting the person that helps. Depends on who the hoodoo practitioner is. All
Yes,
right. So the
sir.
first
Yes,
thing you
sir.
need to know about voodoo, it is the practice of our ancestors, right? And
I'm hip.
so
I'm hip.
when there's a reason why um, hoodoo and voodoo priestess and even extremely powerful witches will refer to the name of Jesus Christ when they're dealing with negative entities and spirits. So there was one witch that I talked to who went through the process or tried to go through the process of summoning an angel. I can't remember the name of it, but it's a very, very long process, and she couldn't make it through it. But she got to the point to where, because before you can get an angel to come, all the demons come, and
Yes,
so
sir.
she got to the point where all the demons were coming into her house, and she couldn't deal with it. And we're talking, and she's literally having a breakdown, explaining the things that she was seeing and all the stuff that's going on. I said, "Well, how did you stop it?" And she said, "I used the name Jesus Christ." And I said, "Well, I thought you didn't practice." She's like, "No, no, no, no." She's understand. We know and we understand the power of Christ. I just don't worship Jesus. And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. I understand where you're coming from." So
Hmm. Hmm.
if I'm you and I'm in your situation and you just said, I'm not Christian, but if I'm you and I'm in,
Yes.
in that situation, I would work away. I would start moving away from the ancestral spirit portion. I'll tell you
Okay.
another story. My old business partner,
Okay.
the
Yes,
guy
sir.
that helped me start iamdarkwaters.com, he and I split away from each other because when he and I, he's like a little brother to me. He started getting into, um, he started getting into hoodoo and voodoo and ancestor worship and all the rest of the stuff. And I told him, like, he would come in my house with my kids, and I told him, I said, hey man, you can't be coming in my house with my children with that shit. And he was like, man,
Yes,
this is
sir.
our spirits, these are our ancestors. I said, bruh, don't come around me with that fucking shit. And he wouldn't listen. And so he would come in town because he needed a place to stay because he had divorced his wife and he wanted to visit his kid and all the rest of the shit. So we sitting on the porch one day smoking, and one evening it's cold as shit because we were sitting out there with blankets on our legs and shit, and we smoking and talking. And when I say it's like my little brother, this hurt my heart because this dude's like my little brother. And he starts talking about some of the spells that he's working, and I said, man, let me tell you something. I said, before I say anything else to you, I'm gonna tell you I love you. I said, I love you. If somebody ever touches you, I'm gonna crack their head open and I'm gonna pull their brain out and I'm gonna play with it. I said, but don't bring your ass to my fucking house again. He was like, man, what you mean? I said, don't come to my house again. It's your last time staying at my fucking house. I said, because you're not respecting what I want you to do. Well, he ends up moving to San Antonio, gets deeper and deeper into messing with it, and he starts reaching out. When I cut you off, I cut you off. Like, I don't fuck with you. Like, don't fucking call me. I don't fuck with you when I cut you off. So he starts calling people around me trying to get in contact with me. And finally, he calls one of my business partners that I've been in business with for 20 years. And they hold a conversation. And he's telling my business partner about how he's learned to talk to the ancestral spirits and get answers and all the rest of the stuff. Now, this business partner is extremely smart, extremely intuitive, and he knows shit before, just naturally knows shit. I don't. That's how come we make so much money together, because he just knows. He'll meet you and know shit about you, right? And he's actually in the Unk story. Well, they're talking, and he tells me, he said, "Man, that's not your ancestors you're speaking to. That's demons." And
Hmm.
the guy gets offended, extremely offended, starts cursing. He said, "Man, I'm just telling you, those are not your ancestors you're talking to. Those are demons. And you need to
Yeah.
stop communicating with them and stop giving them
Yeah.
your attention and put your focus on Christ." And he gets mad and
Yeah.
hangs up the phone. So my business partner calls him back for days, like 3 days to get him on the phone. Finally gets him on the phone because we all know each other. Like, the people who run with me, when you run with me, you run. It ain't like you going. If I'm going to back in those days when I was going to the club getting bottles of Camus Conundrum, if you was running with me, you didn't pay for nothing. You was there with me. Like it was
Yes,
it was
sir.
ridiculous back in the day. And
Yes,
so
sir.
we all know each other. So he calls and finally gets him on the phone. He said, "Man, there's a reason why James not talking to you, because he warned you about this shit and you not fucking listening. And we're confused because you were like our little brother. Like, literally, like when we went to the club that you couldn't afford to go to this club. You couldn't afford to go to this bar room, and you drunk on our tab. You ate our food. You hung out with our women. You know what I'm saying? Like, you were like our little brother. And this whole time you've had our guidance and your life has taken off and went in the right direction. And so now you're dealing with all this shit because you doing this new shit, and we just confused." And it took him to talk to that, because I refused to talk to him. It took him to talk to him for like 3 months before he stopped doing the shit. The minute he stopped, everything turned around. So my advice to you before I let you go is this: leave that shit alone. Focus on Christ, and all of that is going to go away and it's going to change. And that's what's going to make things better for you. Um, it's a decision that you have to make, and
Yes,
it's a
sir.
spiritual decision, and it's a decision that not only affects this life, but it affects the afterlife. And you're talking to a person whose grandmother was the highest hoodoo
Oh, I know.
practitioner,
I
and
know. I've been
like,
following you. I know.
that woman was the shit. And I'm telling you, right,
Yes,
I,
sir.
I still believe to this day she running around fucking with people. That woman was she was unfuckwittable. I'm telling you, bro. Like,
Yes, sir.
and so, um, that's it's
I
this
know
thing
that
that we
the smartest man in the world knows that he don't know shit. I don't know nothing. I'm just trying to figure it out.
Well, I'm telling you, there's this thing in our community, in the black community, where it's, oh, we need to get in contact with our ancestral spirits. We need to do this. We need our ancestral guides. No,
So
everything
you
you
don't
need
know
is
what
already in.
ancestors you're actually pulling through.
You don't, man. Half the motherfuckers that's black in America don't know who the fuck their ancestors are. They don't know where the fuck they
Exactly.
from. They don't know none of that shit.
Exactly.
They have no clue.
Exactly.
They don't know what
You're
area,
right.
what region. They don't know nothing. They
You're right.
majority of them motherfuckers. Anyway, I'm not gonna go there. They don't know.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
can I ask you one question before you leave? Can I ask you one
Right.
question? This is the only thing about I've been trying just to like ponder my mind about Christianity. I grew up Christian. Like I'm saved and I'm all that. Like I grew up Baptist. Like I literally went to the preacher to get saved myself. Nobody had to coax me to do it. Like I'm spirit. Like I'm one of them ones. You know what I mean? Like that's why I know that they trying to fuck with me. But why did it have to be done by the sword? Why I'm sorry if I'm a little tearing up a little bit. Why did it, like, okay, I get it, yeah, Christ and everything, but why did our people have to die for that? Like
Why did who peoples have to die for that?
our people,
Talking about black
like
people
our
and
indigenous folk, our indigenous folk, because not everybody came from Africa. We was right here already. I'm telling you, I'm Powhatan and Algonquin. I'll show you. My people come from right here. Like I'm
yeah.
from Anoka, Maryland. Like why what did we believe in before that? What was our culture? What did we eat? What was our customs? What like why was that taken from us? Why were we
Well, I don't know. Well, hold on.
taken
Let me help
from
you out with that.
African to black to Negro to all these things? Like what? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I understand where you're
I
coming
just
from.
don't understand
What
that.
you're
Like
let me help you with it. I understand where you're coming from. So what you're referring to is and that's the pain of most young black men who go through it and they're trying to figure out why. They want to understand why. Why this? Why that? I went through that. I mean, most young black men go through the pain of why. The issue is you have to understand if you go back and you actually what you've been educated on has been a portion of history. If you go back and you go read your Bible and you trace the areas where everything was, there were a shitload of black people in the fucking Bible. So when you start
oh
talking about things
hell
being
yeah!
okay,
And
so
we were enslaving each other. Like yeah, like this isn't
exactly.
nothing new. Like it ain't nothing new under the sun. Yeah, like,
Okay,
I'm
so
not saying like oh black people was just like yeah everything was peaches and cream. Like
no.
no. I
Let me
get it.
finish though. Let me finish this. Let me finish so I can
Yes
explain it
sir.
to
Yes
you.
sir. I'm sorry. Yes
So
sir.
the pain that I can hear and everybody else can hear, that pain is a pain that you don't have to hold on to. That pain is something that you don't have to even embrace. Um, it's something that's reinforced daily, all day long by society, by TV, by movies, by everything. And that pain is intentional. It's like a thumb. It's like a nail stuck in between your thumb and your pointer finger, and somebody just constantly digging it in and twisting it and digging it and twisting it and digging it and twisting it and reminding you of things that, truthfully, for you today in the country that you live in, are absolutely fucking irrelevant. You can be anything you want to be. You can do anything you want to do. You can have anything you want to have. You can succeed at a rate unlike any other black person in the history of time. Take me for an
You're right.
example. Being here on
You're right.
YouTube. So it's a choice. That's what I was saying before. Just
You're
like
right.
choosing to follow Christ is a choice, it's a choice to where you can choose what you put your attention on. I don't
You're right.
choose to
You're
focus on
exactly
none of
right.
that bullshit. There's nothing, no one that can stop me from doing anything. I wish you the best of fucking life. I've already proven this shit.
Hey,
Thousands of people have tried to
look,
stop me, right? And I think
no,
that's the
no,
choice you have to make.
no. I, I, I was just on the cusp. I was just on the cusp. No, like, everything you're saying is exactly right. Touching my spirit, touching my soul. Everything you're saying is exactly right. It's just sometimes us youngins, we need the OGs to, just to give us that push. You know what I mean? Like, cause it's crazy out here, man. It's wild out here. So just appreciate you. And no, you're exactly right. Exactly right. I already have the answers. I already know. I already know.
You
It's
just
just
have to choose
sometimes
what you
you
focus on,
you
my
just need
man.
a man. You just need a man just to tell you like, nah, bro, like go ahead and do it. So I appreciate you, man, for
No,
real.
I appreciate you too,
I
man, and I
appreciate you.
love you, and I appreciate you listening to me. Just keep that on the forefront of your mind. You decide. You don't let society, you don't let anybody tell you anything. You decide what you're going to focus on. You decide what your life is going to be because so many young black men spend a section of their lives going through, I call it the victimhood shit, where it's like, I've been victimized.
Yeah,
Why was this done to me? Why, man, fuck all that. Where
yeah,
you are, you
yeah,
got to stay
yeah,
in the moment of now and say, okay, well, what do I want to do? Do I want to be an
yeah,
engineer, a doctor, a lawyer? If I want to, whatever the fuck it is you want to do, you go handle
yeah,
that shit and you do it. Now, anybody who gets in your way, it don't matter what skin, shape, size, sexuality. If they try and
yeah,
stop you, you put your foot up their motherfucking ass. Period. And
yeah,
that's all it
yeah,
is to it.
yeah. Put their foot up there. Yeah,
And that's it.
yeah, straight up. Yeah, straight up. Yo, yeah. And to everybody, like, I see the messages and stuff, people in the chat. Man, I love y'all. Thank you. You know what I mean? Like, and like, I just want to say, like, man, I know how to look to some other races and different things like that. But niggas just in pain, man. We was trying to figure this stuff out. We was trying to figure it out. So if you can help us figure it out together, that'd be better. We all gotta come together, man. I love all y'all. I love everybody. Straight up.
We love you
Dr.
too,
Waters, I
man.
love you, man. Love
We
you,
love
man.
you too.
Straight up.
I'll talk to you again.
All
I'll
right.
talk to you again soon, brother.
Yes, sir. Yo.
All right. All right. Peace out. Real overline phone calls, real conversations. You guys are getting to witness the conversations. Hold on, man. You guys are. Let me say this, and I'm gonna open them back up. I'm not. Oh my god, killing me right now. Give me a second. Give me a second. All right. Thank you. I'm about to say this. So I'm opening right back up because I'm not rushing. I'm in the bedroom tonight. So literally, when I hang up with y'all, I'm gonna just climb my ass in the bed and go to sleep. You're witnessing what happens behind the scenes during phone calls when I take them on my cell phone. These are the exact conversations that happen. I mean, literally, the exact long, drawn out conversations that happen, and it's a great thing that it does happen. In the case of Brandon, um, he's gonna be perfectly fine, and I can promise you that. But what we want to do for him is you guys pray for him. And the power prayer is so powerful. Like for example, you notice he stopped coughing because while he was coughing, I muted my microphone and I started praying for him. And I saw other people in there praying for him too. Prayer is so strong that it changes things immediately. So if we all agree now to pray for Brandon, every last one of us here right now, if we all agree to pray for him now, because we all in agreement, things will start to change for him because he has this force of people behind him that's trying to help him. So y'all pray for the brother. He gonna be all right, and I'm gonna make sure he and I talk again. All right, so I'm going back to open the lines back up, and then y'all get y'all call on, baby. It's a little cold in here though, man. I got this window open because I'm smoking a cigar. My bedspread gonna smell like smoke, but it's all good. All right, them lines is back open. Yo, it's Dark Waters. Who am I speaking to, and where are you calling from, baby?
What's happening, Dark? This is Joel in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, you in the A town. What's up, Joe?
What's happening, man? How you doing?
I'm chilling, man. Smoking a cigar. It looks like I'm just gonna be a 3 cigar show, so I'm gonna have to play a story for y'all while I go get another one. But what's on your mind, Playboy?
Not much. I was calling in. I was just going to talk about an experience I had. I do some equipment installation,
Oh, this is gonna be good.
automotive equipment installation. And I had an install at a speed shop up in Muskegon, Michigan. Not going to mention the guy or the shop or anything, but
That's
he was
fine.
nice enough to give me a loaner truck while I was there. And it was like a 2003 Silverado 1500 standard shift, which is new to me in a Silverado. That thing had like 300,000 miles on it, and like every light on the dash, the whole Christmas tree was lit up. You know, so the truck had problems. And me being the brilliant person I am, I decided to shoot up the Great Lake coast, go look for a Dogman, and as you might say, go full retard.
You gotta be kidding me. You ain't do that, did you?
I mean, I looked for the closest 2 sightings to me, you know, Google, read a few things.
No.
And I went straight up the coast and then cut back in east towards a place called Wolf Creek, because that's about the best name. It's unbelievable how thick the canopy is. You don't really realize there are parts of Michigan where you're going to be riding around with your headlights on in the daytime. That's just how thick it is. I mean, it's crazy. I had no idea it would be like that, or how many deer you see. There's deer everywhere. Nothing super crazy happened. I saw something on the left-hand side of the road coming back south, coming back down to Muskegon from where I had been riding around. Something big and black on the left-hand side of the road. Looked like it was belly crawling, kind of had its legs behind it. And the only thing that was definite was it had a tail. It had a tail like as thick as I'm 6'1", 195 pounds. Its tail, the bushiness, was as thick as my forearm. Like, that's how bushy, and probably about as long as my arm. But I can't, it was a flash. It was real quick. Something just went into the tall grass and out of sight real fast. And that's about as weird as it got. But I just thought I'd call, share that. Make it what you will. I'm not going to try to make it anything more than it was. It was cool.
Did you see a head on it? Did you see the head on it at all?
That would have already been in the tall grass. It was making off when I made it around. I made it around a bend, and one of those parts where it was so thick. It was 3:30 in the afternoon, and I haven't run headlights. The canopy's so thick.
Really?
And it had been in one of those parts. Yeah, as long as you go up and down along the Great Lakes, when you're between all those little townships where the people have their beach houses and all the rich folks are and stuff, it gets real thick. And it's funny because the streets or the roads still have names like 59th Avenue, 60th Avenue. They still have names like you're in a town or something and you're in the middle of nowhere. It's weird.
It sounds like the perfect place for a freaking dog man to be roaming around in the middle of the day doing random stuff, man.
There's nobody out there but deer and trailers, occasional trailers. That's about all you see.
But what made you go full retard, man, in a raggedy ass car that could have shut off on the side of the road?
That was the only thing about it. Was like the whole time I'm doing it, I'm like, this fucking truck
Dude,
is gonna leave me on the side of the road.
You're gonna fuck around and end up in a story, bro. Doing that kind of shit, you're gonna fuck around and end up in a story. I can see if you decide to do it in a brand new car, but come on, man.
I put way too much trust in it. I got a driveway full of old cars. I put way too much trust in it.
Well, man, don't do no dumb shit like that no more. End up on the side of the road in the wrong area,
see.
bro.
I'm not going to go to Taylor, Mississippi or anything. So
no, that would be really bad. That's a horrible fucking idea.
I have to drive to Texas about 3 or 4 times a year, but I go around Taylor. We'll go straight through Jackson, Shreveport. I'm not messing with Taylor.
Dude, that's a terrible, terrible. People swear to God that I was lying about Taylor until they started researching the random shit.
I mean, they had news stories in the early 2000s, in the late 90s. It was on the news,
I know.
They'd have pictures. This lady had a real terrible picture, and it was like there was so much sheen on the picture. It looked like it might have been a mask, but it's still. This lady had no reason to lie. It was like a 60-year-old woman that submitted the picture to the news in the late 90s.
Oh no, you can go look up all the shit that's been happening recently around there. You can just look at the.
I believe it.
There's just the recent
I
stuff.
saw enough in that little bit that I saw. Like whatever I saw there was, if it was a big dog, it was a big dog, and that's enough to say like I didn't need to see the rest of it. So I know like I said, I'm not trying to make it fantastical, make it anything more than it was. It was 1.5 seconds worth of a glance before something was in the tall grass.
Hey man, that's called a sighting, man. Ain't nothing wrong with having a sighting. It's way better than having a real encounter. Trust me.
Yeah,
it's way better. Because things could have went terribly wrong.
I'm gonna jump off the phone, but I gotta go get these little girls in the bed, get them tucked in.
All right, man. Thanks for calling in.
All right, have a good one. Thank you.
All right, you too. All right, bye. Hey, this is Dog Waters. What's your name and where you calling from, my friend?
James. I'm from Phillipsburg, New Jersey.
James from Phillipsburg. We share a name. What's on your mind, James?
As far as like the Dogman, I believe they're like Nephilims. I'm actually going through some things right now at work. I've had previous Dogman encounters in the past. I was on Jeff's channel a few years ago. I actually had to leave a job due to that, and now I feel like everything is like starting back up again.
As in activity, or you mean
Yeah.
bad luck?
No.
What do we mean? Everything.
All right. I'm gonna give you a rundown, a quick of my past experience. A few years ago, I used to work for Home Depot. I live in Phillipsburg, New Jersey. I work up in Home Depot in Totowa, New Jersey. So that's an hour and a half drive. I used to work the morning shift from 5 a.m. to 1:30.
Okay.
So I would leave my house like around 3 o'clock to get to work. I'll take 78 East. So one particular day I was on my way to work and stuff like that, and I was driving a Chrysler Sebring at the time, a 2010 white Chrysler Sebring. I was on 78 in the fast lane doing about like 75, 80, and there was a pickup truck up ahead of me, and the pickup truck had came to a complete stop, which caused me to swerve into the middle lane and hit my brakes as well. And as I did that, it's like I clipped what I thought was a Coyote at the time. So I had came to a complete stop. The pickup truck was like maybe about 15 feet ahead of me, or about 10, 15 feet ahead of me. He also came to a complete stop. So I'm looking to see like what did I hit and if it was okay. And it already made its way to the shoulder, like into the it dips down. So I'm looking. I rolled my window down to see like if the animal was okay and stuff like that. So it turns around and then steps foot back on the pavement, and the pickup truck peels out. So I did the same and stuff like that. I went to work. Nothing of it. I came home. No issues. Nothing. So like a few days later, like I start hearing like strange occurrences because I stay up late on like certain nights. So I heard certain occurrences like happening around my kitchen and stuff like that. I think nothing of it, like the branches, because I have trees in the backyard. So I think it's the branches hitting the window and stuff like that. So one particular night, I was in the kitchen doing the dishes. So it was like maybe around 11 o'clock at night. And I was doing the dishes, and I happened to look out the window, and I see something looking back at me. Which like I dropped the dishes. I was scared. I damn near passed out. So I started like when I used to go to work because I have to be to work at 5 o'clock. I'm from Jersey, so I don't own guns. Though the closest thing I have for a weapon is like one of those sword type things, knives and stuff like that. Not knowing what I was dealing with, so I pretty much used to carry that with me. Before I leave out the house, I look out the window. I look out all the windows. I make sure my car is unlocked, and I used to run to my car. So I did this for a couple of days because prior to that, the last time when I seen in the window, all the knocking and tapping had stopped, but I was still scared because I didn't know what I saw. So one night I was running late and stuff like that. I think I was running like maybe 15, 20 minutes late. So I didn't take a lunch. I just grabbed my keys and I ran. And I left the door, locked the door and stuff like that. And I was unarmed. I didn't have not that a knife or a sword or whatever would have done anything. So as I was headed to my car, I felt like there was something off. So when I turned around, I saw this thing that I hit a few days ago, like standing about like 15 feet away from me. So I'm looking at it and I'm looking at my car, knowing it's standing between me and my house, and my car was still away, about at least about 20 feet away from me. So I thought that maybe I could run to my car, but by the time I opened the door, it'd be on top of me. So then it did something that I never thought it would do. This bastard stood up on his back legs. Sorry. Yeah, so it stepped on his back legs. And then it took a couple steps forward. And I'm like, I literally freaking pissed my pants looking at this thing. It was dark, shaggy brown. I think it was about a little over 7 feet tall. So I'm standing there waiting to die and stuff like that. So as this thing was freaking staring at me and stuff like that, there was my neighborhood, we have patrol cars that come around a few nights out of the week and stuff like that. So my patrol car was actually coming up around this time, and it passed my house. The lights briefly hit me and stuff like that. So I'm like, oh, he's gonna stop. So I'm like, no, he kept going, and then he went to the end of my block, which was maybe about 30 yards away, and then he made a U-turn, and he came back, and his spotlight hit the Dogman or whatever this thing was. It looked at me, it looked at it took off into my backyard, because the Delaware River and the woods are about 5 miles to the left of my house towards the backyard. And there's houses around my house and stuff like that. So I didn't end up going to work today. I didn't end up going to work that day. And I was out for a couple of days and stuff like that. So the police came, asked me am I okay? What the hell was that? And I didn't answer. I guess I was in shock and stuff like that. So the ambulance came, took me to the hospital, and I was there for about a day or so. And then he wrote the report and stuff like that. So a couple days later, some people had showed up to my house. I didn't know who they were, so it was we have a warrant to search your house. So they came to my house. They searched my house. They I have a DVR and stuff like that of my driveway. So they took my DVR. So, but before they did that, something told me to back it up on a flash drive. I didn't really get to look at it, but I knew that there was something on a flash drive. And as I was telling Jeff this, that I was getting ready to send it to him, I didn't know that I was being monitored. So I was driving. I don't remember where I was going, but I knew I got pulled over. It didn't look like a cop car. It was all blacked out, regular car. So they arrested me and stuff like that. And it was like, yo, you know what you have? They wanted what I had. So I ended up telling them where it was. And then after that, I didn't have no more experience until maybe a few months later. I had bought myself a rock wallet, and I went to the state park up in PA, because PA is literally 5 minutes away from my house. So I took my dog for a walk and stuff like that, and then I was getting that eerie feeling that I was being watched and my dog was going bonkers. So long story short, something comes out of the wood. I'm thinking it's the same thing that I saw months back, but it wasn't. It was a smaller one, maybe about my height. I'm 6'2". So they bluff charged me. I didn't run, because I already there's no point in running, because the amount of speed that it picked up with its bluff charge, I knew it was going to catch me, and it stopped maybe short of 20, 25 feet of me, growled at me, and then took off into the woods. And then I took my dog and I ran. And we got out of there, so I didn't go back to the park. I changed my schedule. Instead of working 3 in the morning, I work overnight now, just to try to avoid these things. it got so bad that I ended up switching jobs. I no longer had worked for Home Depot. I had switched to Uline that's up in Allentown, Pennsylvania. And then that's when I had my other encounter. I was it was back I think last year when we had that really, really bad snowstorm. And the way how my job is, they don't care whether it's like 4 or 5 feet of snow, you still have to come in. So I left a couple hours early just to try to get in early, and my car had broke down and had got stuck. So I called roadside service. They said it was going to be a while for them to get to me. So I was sitting in my car just playing, at the time, playing Candy Crush. And then, like, I just had that strange feeling that something was off. And up in the distance, I saw these glowing eyes looking at me. And then it came up to the window, and it pulled on my door handle. So I started blowing my horn. And just got mad and it roared, or growled, whatever you want to call this thing. So I stood there for like another 10, 15 seconds and then took off. The roadside service that showed up like maybe about half an hour after. They saw the like footprints and said, "What the hell happened?" I said, "I don't know, it was a coyote or something." So when I went to work, I got there a few hours late. And pretty much I was so shit I was able to do my job to the best of my ability, so I was ended up having to be let go. So fast forward to my most recent supposed encounter. I work at a another company up in Allentown, Pennsylvania. I work for the Purina company, the pet food store. It's up off Pope Road. So I pretty much deal with dog food and cat food and things like that. So I have the task at around 1 o'clock in the morning to empty out all the damages into the freaking dumpster and stuff like that. It's about at least about hundreds to 1,000 pounds of like dog food and cat food. So one of the days, one night I was doing my regular routine, and it seemed like I was driving a forklift because I'm a forklift driver, and it seemed like something was like going around in the freaking dumpster. So I turned my lights on it, and then what it was, it jumped out, looked at me, and then took off. I didn't see it clearly. It was a ways away, but I knew what it was. And it's happened a few nights. I haven't seen it in a few days though, but every so often it shows up at my job. So that's pretty much what I'm dealing with right now.
That's some wild shit right there. Let me ask you a question before I start going into. I want to ask your permission before I ask this set of questions. Because I can hear in your voice that you're shook. Are you okay with me going through the process of these questions with you right now? Do you want me to talk to you more in private? Because I can hear in your voice that you fucked up right now.
We can go through it.
You sure? Because
yeah.
You 100% sure. I'm gonna ask you one more time.
Yeah, I'm 100% sure.
Walk me through this. So you're in that kitchen, right?
Yeah.
What was the color of the dish that you were washing? Do you remember?
Yes, it was blue.
All right. So me and you standing at the kitchen. We're in the sink. There's a window in front of us. We're washing the blue dish. What made you look up out of the window?
I had the feeling that something was looking at me. You
So
know
you
how
had
you
that.
just like.
You know when something's looking at you.
Yeah, you just something's like, all right, yeah, something's looking at you. So I wasn't expecting to see anything really. But
all right, now do me a favor. Close
Yeah.
your eyes right now. Close your eyes. And we looking at the blue dish. We looking at the sink. There's a lip on the sink where the water comes out of the faucet. Your eyes are raising up to the window. What did you see? Keep your eyes closed and describe it. What did you see?
I seen probably from the chest up, some I won't even say it was chest out. I noticed more the eyes because it was extremely dark outside because it was nighttime. But from the shadow of the lights that was inside, as my eyes adjusted to it, I saw it. The eyes is the first thing that I noticed.
And
It
what
was
did they
like
look like?
a yellowish eyes with amber in it. Yellow. It's not quite amber, but it's in between.
And what did the pupils look like?
Let me see. It was. I don't know how to say. It's like a ball. Uh, Let me see. Just give me a second. I would say it had like it wasn't all it wasn't all orange or amber. It had like a ring of black to it.
So we talk about eyes with the amber solid color with white on the outside, amber, then with that black ring on the inside, or a black dot.
Black dot. I didn't see no white in his eyes.
So it was all yellow with a black dot.
Yeah, I didn't see the white.
Okay. You remember anything else? You remember a snout? You remember?
No, I didn't see the smell. It's more like a shadow. It looked like something that wasn't supposed to be there. Cause like when I went outside to on my backyard, when I literally had the courage to go in my backyard the next day, my kitchen, it's the top of my kitchen window. Standing outside is like give or take maybe 8, almost 9 feet from the floor. And this thing, when it was there, it was almost eye level with me.
Yeah, you and I are standing in the kitchen, and that means your eye. If you're in the kitchen, you're right at the. Normally, you're right at where the window locks. You know that little lock latch. That's about half of the window right there. Was it above that latch, or was it below the eye level? Was it above the latch where you slide the window up and you open it? There's a little metal latch. Was it above that or below it?
It was above it,
That's
slightly above
fucking
it.
creepy. That is creepy. And that was the only thing that happened around the house outside of
Yeah,
the little noises that you were hearing afterwards. So that was your first initial encounter. Um, so now we're going on to the road where you're in where they work and you hit something. I'll tell you what's going on with it. When you hit it, I don't know if I was you, I would have apologized when I saw it outside. Yo, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to fucking hit you. That was a fucking. I would have apologized. I'm telling you, I'd have been like, yo, I'm fucking sorry, bro. Um, so that car, that truck that was in the accident, which you remember the color of it? What color
yeah,
was
it
it?
was gray. It was a gray Ford pickup truck. I think it was a F-150, if I'm not mistaken.
And this was early in the morning, so sun hadn't risen yet.
And I
Um,
was around 3 o'clock in the morning. I leave my house at 3 o'clock in the morning. For me to get to 78 takes about 7 minutes. So it's roughly happened around 3:09 or 3:10 because I was on the 78 for at least a couple minutes before um, I ran into this thing for the pickup speed and then having to stop.
you remember anything about that driver other than him peeling off?
Yes. At the time, like the driver, his pickup truck was a few feet in front of me. So it was at an angle. I was able to see him. He had a black baseball cap and he was Caucasian. And his eyes was like fucking wide as saucers. So I'm like, at that time, I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I was like, what did I hit? Because this thing was so freaking flat. It's so freaking fast. Like, yo, the speed, even though I clipped it, with the speed, the muzzle I saw, I'm thinking it was a freaking, like a coyote or a bear or something. But I didn't realize what it was until when it freaking turned around and it looked. And then that's when I heard the freaking pickup truck just peel off. and then I did the same. But my thing is, I work an hour and a half away. I went to work that day, man. If anything, it should have tracked me at work. How did it know? I,
Let me ask you this
yo,
question: how far was the location of that hour and a half shit don't mean nothing, dog. Like that, honestly, I don't. How far was the from your house to where that accident was? How far had you traveled from your house to that spot?
less than 10 miles, maybe about uh, 6, 7 miles.
There's your answer to why you were having the experience at your house. Your current job, how far is that from where you live?
My current job is about it's it's a 35-minute drive, so what, 20 something miles, 28 miles.
There's your answer to why it's at your current job. So when you were at Home Depot, though, you weren't having anything at Home Depot itself, right?
No, no.
Um, yeah, that's fucked up, dog. That's all the way fucked up. And I'm gonna tell you like this. I believe you 100% because I've heard this tonality before. I just wish there was something I could do to fucking help you. I'm not gonna get into that other shit with the flash drive, the visitation. That's type of shit you really shouldn't rehash that shit like publicly. Just for future reference, that's that you shouldn't
Yeah.
rehash that publicly. People don't those type of people don't really like when you rehash that. I understand that. I'm not gonna put you back through that. I started to cut you off, but and tell you we need to talk about that in private. But what I will say is this: um, it got your scent off your vehicle, and unfortunately, you had the unfortunate occurrence of injuring one of these things, and they're very, very vengeful when you do that. Um, I'm surprised nothing more has happened than came to your house to pay you a visit because you hit it. I'm surprised nothing more has happened. Has anybody else in the house seen anything?
Nobody's seen it though, but I did tell my wife that I did encounter something strange. I didn't give her the whole detail because I work overnight and for her to be by herself. But since then, I've purchased quite a few guns. I have one in the bedroom with her. I have one in pretty much almost every room that I have. So
And
I'm
how's
pretty
you
much sure
guys'
that how to use it.
relationship doing right now? You guys are doing okay as a couple?
Yeah, actually, tomorrow's her birthday.
That's good.
So
That's good. So you're strong enough not to let it affect the family. That's good. That's a good thing.
yeah.
That's a damn good thing. You sound like a strong dude. You sound like you can deal with it. But if I'm you, you're in a Connor type situation. The guy that was on earlier, where
Yeah.
Connor keeps his pistol on him. You need to keep that heat on you everywhere you go. But you
I
need to be.
can't. I'm Jersey. Jersey's against carry.
You can't carry nothing in Jersey.
Yo, only at your house. You need you need a reason to carry. Like your life is in imminent danger. You know, I'm not gonna go to the police station and be like, yo, a werewolf is after me. You know,
So your car is not
It's
an
like,
extension of your home in Jersey. Like here, your car is an
no,
extension of your home.
no.
That's
Only time
all
I'm
the way
allowed to,
fucked up.
only way I'm allowed to carry my gun in my car if I'm going to the range. If a cop pulls me over and finds my gun, I get arrested in both times.
That's that bullshit right there. I'm so glad I live in the South. Lord Jesus, that's that bullshit right there. You guys don't have concealed carry permits there either.
Nah, it's very hard to get. Very hard to get. Like you need your life has to be in imminent danger. You have to prove to them that your life is in imminent danger before you can get that. Anything that would allow you to carry outside your house, you have to prove without a doubt that your life is in imminent danger.
That's that bullshit. So if I'm you, I'm working the phones, dog. I hear a growl, 911. I will work if I'm in your situation. If I hear anything or I see anything, I'm gonna work the shit out of the phones. I'm gonna call them bitches so much that they gonna get tired. Cause all you need is for somebody to really see it. What I'm surprised is if someone took the evidence, why they didn't just deal with the situation. That's the one thing that's surprising me. But nonetheless,
Yeah, Yo, speaking of that, yo, one thing I did leave out. A couple of days later, I had went outside. There was this black, I don't know helicopters. This black helicopters that flew over my house, over to where the woods were.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't know anything else of it, but they did that, and then I had like since my search, I have been at the corner of my house. There has been like more unmarked vehicles or uh what SUVs, all black, all tints at the end of my block, like facing towards my house,
Yeah,
for
they
like at
need to
least
get on their
about
fucking job. That's what they need to do. They need to get on their job. Stop bullshitting and take care of that. Honestly, they need to take care of that. You know what I'm saying? Because unfortunately, ain't shit you could do with it. You know what I'm saying? And even if you
yeah,
honestly, if you had your pistol, it really ain't shit you could do with it. They need to handle their business and take care of that. And that's that. Honestly, bro. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And trust me, I know about the monitoring because I've been through that. You ain't lying about the monitoring. And I talk just like I'm talking to you. Is what I say, hey man, you don't be fucking with my phone, burning my phone up. I'm sorry, I got the cigar in my mouth. Don't be burning my motherfucking cell phones up because I talked to somebody. You handle your fucking business. You know what I'm saying? Don't make me an enemy. Make me an asset to the situation. Handle your fucking business. Leave my fucking phone the fuck alone. That's $400. You know what I'm saying? Like you fucking tripping
yeah,
out here in these streets. But man, that's a scary, scary encounter, dude. Um, I think you just got to be on your p's and q's, brother. You got to stay on your p's and q's because
yeah. I refuse because I'm in charge. I'm in charge of the, like I told you, dumping the damages.
hmm
I refuse. I got written up a few times because I've been refusing to do it because I'm not going back out there. I'm not going back out there. I want somebody else to go out there to see that shit.
or you get
Because that thing
tell them get you a buddy
is
system. Say, hey man, I need somebody to go out here with me.
true.
So in a situation like that, like think about it like this: you're in a situation where you can't come out and tell your boss. Hopefully, you ain't told your fucking boss, man. They got
No.
fucking werewolf in the trash can. So this how you do it. You finesse that shit. You be like, listen, man, I went out there to dump this shit out, and there was a dude out there, man. This fucking weird dude been out there by the fucking dumpster. And you keep on, you just brainwash and tell them over and over, man, I saw that dude out there again. Man, what you talking about, man? Some fucking dude is by the dumpster, man. I don't really feel safe on my job going out there. You know, I can't carry no pistol. Y'all ain't got no pistols. How I'm gonna go out here where they got vagrants and vagabonds at the fucking dumpster? Somebody come out here with me and just talk them into somebody coming out that bitch with you. All you need is one person. All you need is one person to see that bullshit with you, and it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? It's a wrap. They go, oh fuck no, he right. Some shit out there, and they not gonna be cool about this shit. No, they got some bullshit out there, and then it's all gonna change for you. You'll be fine. But you gotta expose it smartly. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
people are all the same no matter where you go. You just gotta work those people into to your best interest, and that's what I would do. Tomorrow when I go to work, if they want me to take that shit out there, man, I would take it out one time. So that, hey man, I'm gonna take it out here. Boom, take it out as quick as I can. Boom, boom, boom. As soon as I come back inside, I go straight to the boss. Man, I saw some weird shit out there. Some dude out there by the dumpster, man. And every time and if I had to go again, do it as quick as I can, so nobody don't write me up because you need your money right now. You gotta have a job
Yeah.
at this time, and then I would just keep on saying it over and over until they decide to assign somebody with me, and then boom, it's a done deal. All you need is them to see it, just one person. That way, because if you say it yourself, you crazy as a motherfucker. Two people ain't crazy.
Yeah.
Three people is some fucking fact. You know what I'm saying? Period.
Yeah.
But that
Yeah.
don't that sword shit, that blade shit ain't gonna help you with that, homie. Like, and there's
Yeah. I know.
no, I mean,
Yo.
trying
Yo.
that shit
Yeah.
ain't
I
doing
didn't
nothing.
know what I was dealing with. I'm thinking it was some coyote standing on his hind legs or whatever the hell it
Uh,
was and
that
stuff
blade
like that.
shit.
Yo,
That bitch gonna
yo,
laugh at you, boy. That bitch gonna smile at you.
yo,
But
that
you got a
thing,
blade.
yo,
That
that
bitch gonna
thing,
be like Birdman. Put some respect on my name. You know what I'm saying? You better Keep that blade up. That bitch
Yo,
gonna be like
but I'll tell
Birdman
you
on
one
you.
thing, yo. I think it kept it away because I think it was watching me the whole time and going to work. 'Cause the night that I didn't have that thing, man, that thing was up on me, yo.
What?
It was up on me. It was up on me.
If
Because
you
all
feel
the
that
times
way,
that I
keep it
carried
on
it.
you. But I'm just telling you, man. Unless your name is Mishitato Shiroshi or some shit, and you a fucking a motherfucking samurai, that's your ass.
You ain't lying about that, though. But at the end of the day, I got a dash cam and I got all my cams. Really.
Yeah, you shouldn't have said that shit. Bro, you gotta be smart, dog. You know what I'm saying? Stop saying shit. Stop saying shit. Be
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta be smart, dog. Stop saying shit. All right, man. I'm gonna
Yeah,
let you
you
go
right,
because
man.
I'm gonna go my ass to bed soon. I appreciate you calling in, bro. Call me back anytime, man.
All right, thanks, man.
Hey, shoot
I'll
me an
keep you
email
updated.
so we can talk offline too. I want to tell you some other shit.
All right, no problem.
All right, later.
All right, bye.
All right, later. Guys, you gotta be smart, man. Gotta be smart when you're dealing with this kind of stuff. You gotta be smart. Gotta be smart. You have got to be smart. You know that. That's the last call, guys. Let me turn this off before somebody blow me up. Just see. I'm gonna catch you tomorrow night, pimp. I'm gonna catch y'all tomorrow night, pimp. It's late in the night in the dark. I'm gonna catch y'all tomorrow. Hold on. Guys, you got to be smart when you're dealing with this kind of stuff. So you got to be people smart with your communication skills when you're communicating with people. And I'm glad I had him laughing at the end of the call because he was real heavy at the beginning of the call. I wanted to pull him out of that. Hold on, let me say this and then I'm gonna go back to that. So you got to be people smart and understand that when you need help in situations like this, you have to show instead of telling. You know what I'm saying? You literally got to show somebody instead of telling them. That's the first thing. And then, as far as the witnesses that call me and people that I talk to, you can always tell when someone's telling the truth because they start to relive it, and you hear it in their voice, you hear it in their tonality, you hear everything. The best thing that I can do for a person, especially when I force them to relive it like I did, and go through what imagine this, show me this, boom, 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 boom. I didn't want to go too deep because he was in a bad headspace. The best thing you do is pull him back out of it and have that person laughing towards the end because the way our mind works is it's literally like our brains are moved like they can project movies that where we can see them. You know what I'm saying? So once you're reliving an event, you see it and you feel it, and your body relives it as well. So you always want to take that person away from that moment and bring them back to a safe place of laughter or whatever it is, but get them out of that moment because you never want to leave a person there in that space. It's very, very difficult for them to come out of those spaces on their own. And typically, that's why people have mental breakdowns, is because they had a traumatic event and they cannot get out of that. They can't stop reliving that event. And sometimes it's you just have to break it. You know what I'm saying? And for those of you guys who are witnesses and you find yourself in a situation like that where it doesn't matter what it is, it could be you had a family member die, it could be you had a paranormal encounter, it could be you had something traumatic happen to you. What you do to pull yourself mentally out of that, off that roller coaster, because that's literally what it is. It's an emotional roller coaster. Is you have to get outside of yourself and put on something funny. Put on a funny movie. Watch a comedy special, and allow yourself to laugh, and allow your body to kick in those endorphins, and for your mood to instantly change. I'm telling you this from experience. This is how I dealt with my mother passing, and it was a whole bunch of shit that happened around my mom passing. I had to master this of picking myself up because there was nobody there that was going to pick me up. And so I had to pick myself up and I learned to do that. I learned, hey man, laughter is the greatest medicine you can have. You know what I'm saying? And it's like chicken noodle soup for your soul. And so remember that. If you aspiring to interview witnesses, your job is not just to get a fucking story. You know, the story is a story. It's the person that you got to care about, not the story. Because the story is nothing more than the events that happen to this person. If you're only worried about the story, you're a fuckboy. and you don't care about the person. All right, guys, it is 11:15. We still have a lot of work to do for Halloween, and then technically it's about to be Friday. And I need to record my ass off tomorrow because I have three long stories that need to be recorded. I have a bunch of stuff that needs to be edited. And we're going to pick this up Saturday night. I said tomorrow night. Fuck it, I might come back tomorrow night. It won't hurt. Let's do this. Listen to me good when I say this. Saturday night, even though the show is called Talking Dogman, we gonna talk the scariest shit. We'll talk demons. We'll talk whatever. The worst shit you could think of, we talking about it. But I want you to tell your story. Now you can comment on other people's stories. You can give me your thoughts and ideas on it. It's all good. I ain't tripping. But let's get some really messed up stories. And I'm gonna tell a few stories that I haven't told. And I'm not gonna tell them in the format of, with music and sound. I'm just gonna tell them like I do on an interview, which oftentimes that's pretty freaking scary. So now that I decided to do that, I'm going to need to do some prayer work starting tomorrow and make sure that, the crib is straight. Let's go through the comments really, really quickly. Typhoon says, DW, I think you got at least two on the cameras right now. Center the screen. Let's see. Let's go right there. That is probably bugs bouncing around. Bugs. That looks pretty consistent right there. Yeah, now that ain't no bug. Whoa, Nelly. That's not One Eye Willie because he tends to move. You don't just sit still like that. Was that a face I just saw? Nah, I'm tripping. Hold on. Let me look at this. Nah, I'm tripping. I'm bugging. That might be something right there, though. Hold on. Somebody texting me. Who this is? It's probably Vote. The person gonna text me this night, later at night. What is that big black thing right there? Okay. What big black thing, Vote? Let's see. Supposed to have a grid system. You know what? Fuck it. Hold on, guys. Let's try something. Sean texts me a grid. Sean didn't get a chance to explain to me how the hell to use the grid. Oh shit, I got all kinds of text messages saying there's faces. Wendy texts me saying there's a face. Wendy knows faces are shit. For sure because she's captured a lot of evidence. All right, he says this big black thing. Hold on, that was 11:17. It's 11:19, and let's look at his photo. And he is talking about right here. Wendy sent me a message again. Oh, I see what you're talking about right here. Wait, let me zoom out. Same branch. Alright, fuck that. Let's try and do the grid. I was getting ready to go to sleep. And Wendy sent me some photos. Wendy, how the hell did you do that? Definitely look like a face. Alright, guys, hold on. See, this is where my ignorance in dealing with this stuff comes in. So, the ADD kicking in too. So, let's do this. Let's find Sean stuff. Because he texted to me, and no, it's on the other phone where the screen broke. Sean, if you up, man, send me that grid again. I don't know if you're up, Sean. Yes, you're up, Sean. You're always up. You stay up late. You're a vampire. Send me the grid, bro. All right, let's look at this. Big black. I need a screenshot from the daytime because this is what Vault is talking about. This area right here. Stay your ass inside, Vault. We don't need you going outside. Do I have any snapshots on this computer? Let's see. Record snapshot. Let's see if I got any old snapshots. So we'll be here in this. Alright, so this is daytime. And alright, here's that bent over bush we're looking at. And so this should be all flat ground right here. So this is the bush. Is there anything back there? Alright. This is a snapshot I just took. This is the daytime. Holy shit. Yeah, this. Let's go again. Let's go there. I don't know. Let's put them up side by side. Let's do this. Let's close this. Okay, how do I separate these two? So I can't put them up side by side because I'm a retard. What's this? What does this do? Browse all photos, show all favorites. Can I write on this? Draw. Okay. So here we go. This is what Vault is talking about. And this is live. And hold on, let me get another message. Let's see. I was trying to go to bed, dude. Kinda already done freaked me out with this damn light thing. Just emailed me a photo. Somebody asking me to upload the story from Pastor Butts. Nope, that's members only, buddy. That is members only. I'm not really good with seeing the stuff like you guys are. Alright, let's find out what y'all think in the chat. What are y'all seeing? Did y'all see anything? Oh shit. Let's do this. Let's go there like that. This should shrink. Alright. Sure, I can call you, buddy. Damn it. Alright. Okay, so I can't type in the chat. I don't even know why I'm clicking to type in chat because I don't need to type. Alright. How can I become a member? Some monsters. It just depends if you want. If you're talking about on a camera website, go to dogmancams.com. Beautiful Marquita, darling, could you put the link to dogmancams.com in the chat? Your gorgeous self, thank you. If you want to be a member of my website, go to iam.waters.com. Guys, all right. Where's Wendy? She was in here. Someone wants to know if there were any Dogman stories in Mexico territory. Yes. You need to look up the story Running with Evil is the name of it. And that's a Dogman story from south of the border. And Wendy I'll show those photos tomorrow, Wendy. Are you guys saying this looks like it might be a shoulder right here? Could be something. I'm not certain. What I do know is when you look at the daytime photograph, that should be all. What the fuck was that noise? Maybe one of my kids up and moving around. That should be all dead space. No, that shit's gone. Hold on. That shit's moved. Alright, so come on. Well, how can I draw a circle and then a circle? Okay. How do you erase this? This is stupid. Alright, so I clearly see this black area right here. Let's see if it's still there. Time is the only thing that will tell these kind of things. No, that area is still there. Let's try fluid. Let's see if we pick up anything different. I'm not sure about that, guys. I'm not sure if that's something. I can see there being something there. That looked like something fucking moving right there for sure. I'm not sure about this one though. Nonetheless, it is past my bedtime. I want to tell you guys I love you and I appreciate you. Thanks for the calls, everyone who called in. And more importantly, thank you for trusting me to tell me your story. I have a duty and a responsibility to be truthful and honest about your encounters and to treat you the right way. And that's what I try to do. I don't, it takes a lot for anyone to call and share, these type of stories, what's going on in their mind, what's going on in their heart, and especially what's going on in their spirit. For example, like Brandon did. It takes a lot for a person to do that. I respect you, I honor you, I love you, and I appreciate you. And don't ever think that I take it for granted. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. And you will understand that that won't ever stop. It just won't stop. I'm not that type of person. I am not that dude. Let me check the chat one more time, then I'm rolling. Time for us to call it quits and get a lot of dough. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Gonna get a lot of dough. Anything is possible. Turn me up in the headphone. Yeah. Trying to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Yeah. Oh man, I got a lot of gold. Stack that bread and vomit nose. Anything is possible. Yeah. Trying to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Hey. Oh man, I got a lot of gold. Stack that bread and vomit nose. Anything is possible. Hey. I grind to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Yeah. Oh man, I got a lot of gold. Stack that bread and vomit nose. Anything is possible. Yeah, all I know is get paper. All I do is shit major. Bought a condo on the top floor and the building's a skyscraper. Feeling like I'm Kobe, LeBron for the Lakers. Feeling like I'm Idris, Paul Walker, Taker. New Rollie, no diamonds in it. New Porsche, all dimes in it. I'm infatuated with fine women. Corona extra with the lime in it. Just a safe to Henny. Used to be a penny pincher. Now I'm in plenty business. Grind hard, nigga, on guard.
Grind hard, nigga, on guard.
Yeah. We grind to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Oh man, I got a lot of gold. Stack that bread and vomit nose. Anything is possible. Hey. I grind to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Yeah. Oh man, I got a lot of goals. Stack that bread and dominoes. Anything is possible. I lean with it, I rock with it. Locks under my socks fitted. Tahoe with the black tint. Houston girl, heavy accent. But my whole swag is magic. High five, fantastic. Make the money stretch like elastic. Making moves that you couldn't imagine. Eating, still watching my calories. Just to pull in that big boy salary. It's just the way that it has to be. I'm a bad boy, Mike Lowry. While I'm sipping this Henny. And all of my niggas is with me. Yeah, grind hard, nigga, oh God.
Grind hard, nigga, oh God.
Yeah. Trying to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Hey. Oh man, I got a lot of goals. Stack that bread and dominoes. Anything is possible. Hey. I grind to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Yeah. Oh man, I got a lot of goals. Stack that bread and dominoes. Anything is possible.
Oh,